Okay. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. Do 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 do. Do, 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 do. Okay, I think the audio is good today. Let's see what else is going on. Man, my head is all over the place right now. But let's see. Let's just do our checks really quick. Audio is good. Camera is. Do I need to open the camera now, or do I wait until later? Why is the camera even on right now? Let's see. I checked all of this earlier, and then basically what happened is I fell asleep. I think it's okay. That's okay. Anyway, hey Nuggets, welcome to the Food Chuck. My name is Ruka. I hope everyone's doing well today. It is Friday here? Friday. Yeah, it's Friday here right now. Friday night, I got everything set up a while ago, and then while trying to relax before stream, maybe a little bit less than an hour ago, I fell asleep and woke up maybe 10-15 minutes ago. So I'm kind of disoriented right now. I'm just glad I got everything set up ahead of time, but I'm super sleepy right now. Well, not super sleepy. I was super sleepy, and then I woke up, and then I'm not super sleepy anymore, but I am not quite awake yet. So there's a difference here. Hey Ruka, what are you cooking today? I'm currently eating some pizza. Hey KGG, welcome. So today we are actually gonna be doing. I probably should So I was debating on whether or not to start at this time or start later. Here's the thing. I actually still do have I do still have work tomorrow, so I was kind of like thinking, do I do just a straight up talking stream today? Do I do a cooking stream today? And then I was kind of thinking, yeah, I want to cook today. I just want to do something super simple. Just something super simple to finish off the year with. Today is not going to be a complicated build. It's going to be like this easiest build ever. However, it will take a while. Because as you can probably tell from the really blurry image right now that my hand is trying to adjust at the moment, we have a little thing of water here. I have a little bowl of water. It's actually not little. It's the bowl I use to like bake and stuff. And I pre-filled this with water earlier because what we're going to be doing is cooking some meat into a steak. So it's basically I've had this piece of meat for a while, and if anyone's seen the beating my meat video that I did on the channel, it's the same piece of meat from, I don't know, how long ago was that? 2 months, 3 months ago that I made that video, and I still haven't used it, and I can't think of what to do with that piece of meat. So now we are going to just do the simplest thing ever and turn it into steak. But before we can turn it into steak, we have to soften it with this bath water. It's not bath water from the bath, but a bowl of water that it's gonna soak in. I've done this a couple. How many times have I done this cooking method before? I feel like I've done it at least once, maybe twice. We're gonna be doing sous vide. If you don't know what sous vide is basically like cooking something in like a water bath. But we need to but it's like a water bath, lowish temperatures, and it goes off for a long time. And I'll show you really quick what we're working with here. Let me go over to the cooking area and I'll show you what we have and how we're going to do it. I am going to be coming back to the desk though, so my face is going to be frozen. And yeah, I'm not gonna transfer the camera just yet. Also, it's been a while since I've cooked around this time, hasn't it? I think most of the time these days I've been cooking on Sunday mornings whenever we do it. So yeah. So like what you did with the burgers, I don't remember. No, did I do that with the burgers? I may have done it with the Wagyu, with the ground Wagyu burgers. Probably, if that's what you were talking about. Probably, yes. I feel like I also did it with the Wagyu steak back then, but we're not going to be doing Wagyu today. Let me show you what we actually have. So let me just transfer over really quick. My face will be frozen. It will be frozen. Okay, so is the mic good? Okay. Whoa. What is going on? You're like going all over the place. Okay. I think it's calmed down a bit, but let me just show you really quick what we're going to be working with. So, let me see. How is this? Oh yeah, it's going to have to be this way. So, what we're working with today is this 266 grams. So that's like half a pound worth of bison. Not a whole lot, but as you can probably kind of see, or hopefully you can see, let me turn on some more lights here. As you can probably see, this is a decently thick piece of meat. Also, not a whole lot of fat. I think there's a little bit of fat here. This might be a little bit of fat, but otherwise throughout the meat, this is the leanest piece of meat I have ever seen, as far as beef types are concerned. So, yeah. What we're gonna do first with this one is we're gonna take this out of the package, clean it up a little bit, season it, and then we're going to put it into the bath. So let me see. I'm like all over the place right now. A little bit all over the place right now because I just woke up. What am I supposed to do? Let's move some stuff around over here. This plate. Let's start with this plate. Let's do a little prep with the bison meat. And I think I need to adjust the camera just a little bit because it's a little weird right now, especially with how stuff was last time. So now we're gonna do a little flippy. It's gonna be backwards. Cameras are weird. Part is gonna take like 2 hours. or something? Let's use a scissor. Let's use a scissor. Thing is, we gotta like pat this thing dry. Gotta pat it dry and do all the other things with it. I don't know. For anyone, has anyone over here in chat, has anyone here worked or eaten bison before? Any impressions of this meat, if you have? I would like to know. This is like my first time working with it, and I've seen like some comments in other places that says like this is a really tough piece of meat because there's like basically no fat, and if you look at this, there's pretty much hardly any fat. Like hardly any. It's just this thing. I mean, it is bison. It's like we're talking about these giant animals bigger than cows, basically. And they use quite a bit of muscle. Quite a bit of muscle. Okay, so we just need to dry this up a little bit. I don't know what a New York strip is. I don't know my cuts of meat. I know that's disappointing for some people to hear. I really don't. I just see cuts of meat and I see, does it have fat? Does it not have fat? Is it expensive? Is it not expensive? That's how I do my thing. That's how I do my meat shopping. However, I will say I do like my beef chuck roast. Chuck roast is very nice, especially in stews and stuff. I don't know if I can make a stew out of this. It looks a little bit dry for that. Smell wise, it smells like meat. That's not very helpful. But it basically just smells like a regular piece of meat. So I don't think I'm gonna do anything too fancy with this off the bat. All I'm gonna do is season it with salt and pepper. We have our usual gigantic thing of Himalayan salt that I'm still trying to get used up, and white pepper, because that's what we got. Bison isn't expensive. It's more expensive than beef, but it's not as expensive as Wagyu, if that makes any sense. I can tell you how much this costs when I get back to the desk, if you're really curious. Because even I don't remember how much I paid for this thing. But I did it in the name of science, basically. I wanted to know what this thing tastes like, how it feels, how it handles. But as you can see, it's just firm, very firm. So I think what I'm gonna do is just a little bit of salt on both sides. A little bit of salt there. A little bit of salt here. Ideally, I guess you would want to use sea salt so you know exactly how much you're putting in. The little small pieces of salt sand that I'm putting in isn't quite as good, I guess. It's not as easy to see. Honestly, I don't know if Himalayan salt is that great, but you know, it was a gift. I'm gonna use it until it's all gone. And then pepper. Okay, that's it. That's all we're doing. If I were to cook this and I had more time, I think what I would have done is cut this into tiny little pieces and marinate them in some sort of sweet marinade for at least 24 hours before working with it, but we don't have that time. So we're gonna do the simplest thing and just make it into a steak. We're just gonna make it into a steak. So what we need to do is put this thing in the bag, because that's how we're gonna do our sous vide thing. aside. Water. Okay, water. So for sous vide, you normally want like a vacuum sealed thing here, but because we don't have a vacuum sealer, you're gonna have to use a little bit of a trick to get rid of as much air as possible. So we're gonna sink this down into the water and expel air this way. It's a hit or miss thing, but you have to like submerge the plastic bag and the thing that you have in here, displace that air with the water. That's the trickiest thing if you're not using a vacuum sealer. If you have a vacuum sealer, that's like the easiest thing to do. And you see here, there's still a giant gap. So I need to do this again a little bit more. Hey workshop, welcome. Cooking master time. Well, cooking master today is, what do you call this? Is gonna take the easy way out, the lazy way for cooking, because I want this bison to be as tender as possible. And low and slow on the grill is not something I can do. So sous vide, the easier way to do this, and then we're gonna finish it off on the fry pan to get some color in there. Okay, so not perfect. There's still a little bit of air here, but I will take it, and hopefully that's gonna be good enough. Hopefully that's good enough. All right, so now we have this thing. So this is my sous vide thingy. The sous vide stick, the thing that's gonna cook this thing. Well, it's gonna heat the water. It's gonna heat the water and it's gonna cook it. So I gotta make sure it's submerged. Submerge the meat. And we're gonna do this at 132. I think I read that it was supposed to be around 132 degrees Fahrenheit. So 132 degrees Fahrenheit. If we have a timer, we will do it for 2 hours. So 132 for 2 hours. I'm gonna get that started, and basically we're just waiting for water to boil for the next 2 hours. And that is extremely boring to watch. So I'm gonna go back to the desk and we're gonna talk and do some other stuff while this thing's going. While this thing's also going, I'm gonna go ahead and set a timer. Where is my timer? I had a timer. Oh, I have to hit start. Am I essentially boiling the bison? So yes and no. Technically I'm not boiling the bison because what do you call this? Technically I'm not boiling the bison because the water is not in direct contact with the meat, but I guess also yes. It's basically a water bath. I'm bathing the bison in a specific temperature water. And if you do that, the thing with sous vide, if I'm not mistaken, I don't do sous vide a lot. I usually do sous vide on really tough meats or meats I don't want to mess up. And basically what sous vide does, it allows you to cook something at a constant temperature, and you can cook it for as long as you want to, and it's never going to like overcook. That, in theory, that's how it works, and I think in practice that's also how it works. Basically what happens in cooking is, if you cook something at a certain temperature, it will cook that thing. Let's say meat. Let's say meat, okay? When you're cooking meat at a certain temperature, you are trying to cook everything from the outside to the inside, right? Right? So let's say you're getting fire and you're trying to like grill the meat. The outside's gonna burn first. The outside's gonna cook the quickest because it's in closest contact with the meat. Inside is not gonna cook quite as fast because the heat doesn't penetrate as easily, right? That's what happens when you cook with normally. And if you cook normally, let's say the fire is pretty hot and it's hot enough to make everything into charcoal, it's going to make the outside of the meat into charcoal, and the inside is still going to be fairly raw, if not slightly cooked. We don't want that. We don't want that in this case. In this case, with sous vide, what sous vide does is basically you're taking a specific temperature. The outside will cook first, as always, but if you limit how hot the temperature is on the outside won't cook anywhere past whatever temperature you set. And then the heat penetrates the inside of the meat, and then everything is even. I think that's how it is. I don't know if I explained it well, but basically you make sure with sous vide that the temperature of the entire thing is at an even temperature. Now, it's not going to have that nice browning or black outside that you're used to seeing on the meat or whatever you're cooking, like vegetables. You can also sous vide vegetables. So what you have to do after that is get the pan out and then sear it to get that color. Everything is cooked. You're just searing it for finish, basically. Otherwise, it just kind of looks like this pink, red, brown thing. It looks unappetizing, even though it's actually cooked. So yeah. But is it essentially boiling? Yes and no. I'm leaning towards no, because boiling to me also implies that you're introducing water into the thing that you're cooking, and we're not actually introducing water. It's just a bath. It's just taking a bath, but it's not getting wet. It is getting wet from its own juices. That's gonna happen. That's gonna happen. I just want to make sure that the whole thing is submerged. If it's not submerged, I'm gonna have to find something to weigh it down. I don't know what I can use to weigh it down. I don't think I have anything I can use to weigh it down, but that's gonna go. That's gonna go. But yeah, so now we wait, and while we were waiting, I kind of wanted to go over the winter Steam sale. I know the winter Steam sale isn't quite as interesting as the regular Steam sale, but it's still something I wanted to go over. Just, you know, if you guys have any suggestions of what you would like to see me stream in the coming year, now is the time to do it. I'm not gonna promise I'm going to buy it. I need to look at it first. So for everything that I play, I usually take a look at it. I may have like seen a stream of it, I may have like read some reviews about it, or I just saw it and it looked really interesting and I want to buy it, right? That's usually how most of us buy games. That's how I buy games anyway. And I don't want to go through my list just yet. What I want to do is, if you have any suggestions, we'll go through your suggestions first, see them on stream, and if I like it, I'll wishlist it. And then whenever a sale comes up for it, I'll think about buying it. But let me just show you really quick if I can do that. Let's see. Where is my thing? Is this it? Yes. This is it. So winter sale. Let me just show you my list so far. I have 61 games in the stream queue. This is not counting the other stuff that I want to stream. You may or may not see stuff already in here that you might want to recommend that I do, but I mean, for the most part, it's a decent mix of stuff that looked interesting and stuff that I may want to stream. Just because it's in this queue doesn't mean I'm gonna stream it. But eventually, I kind of want to... Wait, what's Portal 2 doing here? I'm done with Portal 2. That's done. That's done. I need to remove it from this queue. That's no longer there. As you can see, there's quite a list here, and apparently I didn't do a good job of clearing it. Add to favorites. I actually like that one quite a bit. But yeah, there's quite a few stuff here. Actually, today I kind of also wanted to do like Yakiniku Simulator instead, for just a chatting and not even cooking at all. But I figured, wait, I have actual meat. I should probably actually cook it, and so that's what we're doing today instead. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff in this list already, and I'm probably not going to be able to finish it within the year. And there's quite a few that I'm just trying to figure out the time to play them. But as far as my wish list, I'm not going to show you my wish list just yet. Honestly, I feel like showing you my game list for what to stream is a huge spoiler already. But the wish list is like not exactly spoiler because I don't have it yet, but it's something I'm interested in. Hey Mars, welcome. Yeah, gamer. Wait, I don't know about you, but I haven't had this problem of having a huge backlog of games until I started streaming. Before, I actually just bought the games I wanted to play when I wanted to play it. Now, I'm buying games that I haven't I'm buying games now that I want to stream, also games I want to play myself, and it's like I always try to get them on a sale because sometimes I don't know when I'm gonna get to them, and unless it's a game I really want to play right away, it's better for me to buy on a sale than, you know, like full price or something like that. It's like I can wait. It's like when Resident Evil 8 came out, or was it 7? I don't remember anymore. Village, whichever one Village was. It's like, yeah, a lot of people bought it right off the gate and streamed it right off the gate, and I'm like, yeah, not really interested right now, but I may get to it eventually, so maybe wishlist, maybe not. I'll probably buy it on a sale. Same here, Steam sales are crazy tempting. Yeah, I mean, I could show you what I have right now, but I want you guys to recommend me some stuff. Recommend me some games that you want to see me stream, and we'll see if it's on my wish list or not, and then we'll also see if what do you call this? If it's something I will actually play. But let's see. Let's just see really quick what is actually on sale that they put on the front page, because not everything here is on sale. SMT Nocturne for obvious reasons. Do I have Nocturne? Also, what was that? Oh, it just reached temperature. Really? Wait. Oh wow, the timer just now, what do you call this? Started ticking down, so I have to reset my timer. I have to reset my timer now. Wait, stop. Reset timer. Reset timer. Oh no, not 24 hours. We're not gonna be cooking for 24 hours. Are you crazy? No. All right, let's do that. Let's see. SMT Nocturne for obvious reasons. Soul Hackers is on sale. Yeah, Soul Hackers is on sale. Nocturne. Oh, I actually do have Nocturne on wishlist. I actually do have this on wishlist. It's just not on. Oh, it's on sale right now. Okay. Yeah, definitely on sale. I don't, like I said, I don't know if I'll be buying this anytime soon, just because my backlog is already huge, and let's just be honest. RPGs take a while to beat. It does. It's like 6 streams, 10 streams, sometimes more. They just take a while to beat. But I do have it here, and when I'm ready to play it, that's probably when I'll buy it. But I do have it listed. I own the game on Switch, but I haven't played it. It's also on Switch. I didn't realize Nocturne was on Switch. Not done with 5. I beat 5 on stream, and should I mention what my impression is of 5 since I beat it already, or is that should I hold off on that? Switch, PC, and PS4. Soul Hackers. Do I have Soul Hackers on here? Soul Hackers 2 is here, but I don't think I wishlisted it. I didn't wishlist this for a specific reason. A friend of mine actually played this, and he agrees, and I agree that that the game looks really, really good. It's basically the Persona 5 of SMT in terms of style. Gameplay though, and dungeon design, I listened to him a little bit too much regarding his opinions on like game design and stuff like that, because he is a game dev. Well, I guess game dev's not exactly what he is, but he does a lot of game dev-ish stuff, but not actually, hasn't made a game in a long time, but he's, I guess, more of a consultant or something regarding that. And he had a lot of bones to pick with the game design, and having played through SMT 5, I felt like, do I really want to do this? Maybe eventually, maybe on a steep discount. But it's not something I don't know if it's something I want to stream just on design alone kind of thing. Atelier Riser 3, I have my pre-order for Riser 3 already. I'm telling you, I have the pre-order for the Switch for Riser 3 already, and I will also buy it on Steam when it comes out. You know why? You know why? Because I am not going to be streaming Riser 3 on the Switch. If I'm going to be streaming Riser 3, I'm going to be streaming it on PC in full graphics, because the graphics on the Switch, not the best. And I feel like the Atelier series, if I can afford it, is best on PC. Now, I just mentioned I have it on pre-order. Yes, I got the limited edition on pre-order, and also may buy the Riser 3 on the Switch, not Switch, Steam. That is a lot of money, but I'm also a huge Atelier simp, so it's not something I mind doing. I have like the same game on 3 different consoles, including PS3 and the Vita, which is pretty much dead now, and the Switch at the same time. So it's like, okay, I am definitely far too deep into the series, and Riser 3 is just gonna be another one of those things that's gonna burn a hole in my pocket, because Gust knows where to get me. And no, I will say this, I'm not buying Riser 3 because of Riser's thick thighs. Actually, I was part of the camp when Riser came out that shook their heads at Gust for doing the character design that Riser does have, because it's a little bit too sexy, I guess, for the Atelier series. But I have learned to love Riser for who she was as an alchemist of the main series, and she does still have the soul of an alchemist of the main series. So it's like, okay, I accept you for that. I accept you for that. Even though you have this design, I will not be horny with you, because I just can't do that. I cannot do that to Ryza because she's just a normal girl. She's a girl. She's just an alchemist with certain design, and you know, I just have to be okay with it. I'm holding off on 2 because I'm still not done with the first one on 3DS. Really? The first one's on the 3DS? That's way back. Fatal Frame, 4 is the scariest, and it finally got localized recently after ages on the Wii. I have played Fatal Frame 2. That was the PS2 one. I played that one. That one was fun. Probably I shouldn't have done a endurance stream on it, trying to finish it all in one go, which I did. Should I have done that? I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. Fatal Frame 4. Fatal Frame 4. Let me like take a look at this. Fatal Frame 4. Is this one Fatal Frame 4 made on black water? Because if it is, it does look nice. I think I was looking at some reviews about this, and there was a lot of Maiden is 5. Okay, which one is 4? Which one is 4? Is it on here? It's not this one, right? Mask of the Lunar Eclipse. Is this 6 or 4? Which one is 4? Fatal Frame. These are the only 2 on Steam. And if they're doing, if they did 5 and going backwards, this is 4. Okay, I know there was some complaint about 5 because of how the camera system was working. Is 4 legitimately better than 5? Because if it is, I'm probably going to go ahead and wishlist this. It's not out yet. It's gonna take a while. But I'm gonna go ahead and wishlist this, and I may buy it. Maybe not as soon as it comes out. I may wait for a sale on this one, and then if I find the time slot to stream it, then I'll do it then. In terms of story, then yes. Okay, understandable. I know there was a lot of criticism with 5, which is what this one was. Like if you look at this thing, the camera is way awkward. This thing goes like everywhere. You can do a landscape, you can do portrait. It's like, why do you need to do that? Graphics look nice, but that's about it. I think Fatal Frame 2 was like the best Fatal Frame so far. I don't know anything about 1. It's a little bit hard to find. I don't know anything about 3, but 2 was pretty good. 2 was pretty good for what it was. A little annoying in some parts, but pretty good otherwise. Gameplay, not sure. 5 is for the Wii U and 4 was for the Wii, so I don't know if they implemented the gameplay properly in the PC. I see. I need to ask a friend of mine who has played 5 and what their opinion was. Because if I remember correctly, they played it not this past when was this out? If not this past Halloween, but last Halloween, the Halloween 2021, when this one came out. I saw them play it a little bit. I don't know what their opinion of it was though. Probably not very high from what I could tell. Wish 2 got ported to PC. I would absolutely play it on stream. Yeah, there's a lot of games that from the PS2 era that I wish was ported to PC, but instead we have to find other ways to like play it. Like I'm thinking Xenogears. Xenogears is actually PlayStation 1. That's a PlayStation 1 era, not PS2. But still, it's the same issue. It's not ported to PC. And so the only way you can play it other than, you know, emulating it is having the game and having the, what do you call it, the game system, either PS1 or PS2, and hooking it up to the PC and playing it that way. Like, I feel like for all the people that play Xenoblade, they need to play Xenogears, because I'm just gonna put this hot take out there about Xenoblade. I probably said this a million times before. Xenoblade is a shell, or at least fragments of ideas from Xenogears, or what Xenogears could have been as a series. And it's a little bit watered down. Honestly, the Xenoblade series is a little bit watered down. And made to sell, basically. Meanwhile, Xenogears itself is art form at its finest. Not exactly made to sell, but it was made at a time when, you know, they could actually afford to do more artsy stuff and actually make something really, really good. Not saying that the Xenoblade series is bad. I mean, there's a lot of people that like it. But it's not as good as it could be. You know what I mean? Xenogears is just like the OG of the OGs of the Xeno series, and if you're a Xenoblade fan, you owe it to yourself to play Xenogears if you could. If you can. Emulate it or find a copy of it, probably really expensive. So I guess just find a way to play it somehow. And you owe it to yourself to do that. And then you'll probably see a whole lot of similarities from the Xenoblade series in Xenogears. That kind of thing. Yeah, it's just like some old classics that you want to play on a modern system, or at least on PC. Art in Ellico is also one of them. Maybe not the first Art in Ellico. The first Art in Ellico was a bit... It's good. The music is good. The world setting is good. But Art in Ellico, as far as gameplay, the first one, a little bit on the rough side, not gonna lie. Art in Ellico 2 was perfect, though, as far as I'm concerned. Perfect. I just wish they made Art in Ellico 3. Art in Ellico 3 would have been great if they ever made it. But they still haven't done it, so yeah. You should try Getsu Fumaden. It's basically Japanese style Castlevania. Let me see. Can I find this? Is it on here? Getsu Fumaden. Oh, it's actually here. And Castle... Oh, wow. You said Castlevania. They do have a Castlevania bundle, apparently. Let me see. Let's check this out. It does look... The cover already looks interesting. I hate to judge things by the cover. Okay, 3D Castlevania, from what I could see. Also looks very... No Japanese. No style Japanese. Okay. What is this? A fighting game? Oh, no. You're fighting two bosses at the same time. Interesting. Also Konami. Interesting. They haven't done this kind of thing in a long time. Okay, let's see some trailers then. Let's see them trailers. I'm gonna turn off the BGM here really quick. Where is the BGM? Alright, let's take a look at this. Okay, so this is the style that we are expecting. Maybe I'm just not used to the idea of a 3D Metroidvania, but then again, Metroid has done like 3D with Dread. It looks pretty good though, not gonna lie. Just a different skin as far as Metroidvanias are concerned. Okay, it's off the bat over here. I'm seeing that you need like multiple hits to kill some enemies, which isn't unusual, but it's like kind of treating the mini encounters as like these really not exactly epic, but tough fights already. Which kind of makes me wonder, is it going to be grindy, is it going to be not grindy as far as a chore to beat these things? Like bosses, you expect that. But for regular encounters, not so much. I'm going to keep an eye on it though. I'm going to keep an eye on it. I'm going to go and put it on the wish list and keep an eye on it. Oh, it's a roguelike also. I didn't see that. Roguelite hack and slash atmospheric. Got you, got you. All right. I might get it. The sale's tempting. $14.99. That's pretty good. I just don't see myself playing it right away. Like I said, my queue is already pretty big. But I will at least wishlist it, and if I find myself needing to what do you call this? If I feel the itch to play a Metroidvania, then this is probably going to be one of them. My other Metroidvania right now, that I'm already trying to find a spot to play is Momodora. I still haven't played this yet, but I have it. I've been meaning to. Just haven't gotten around to it. But we'll get there eventually. Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Isn't that... I don't think that's on Steam. I don't think any Zelda titles are on Steam. Yeah, if it's not on Steam, I can't do anything about it. We're only looking at Steam titles today. But let me just check that out really quick. Isn't Tears of the Kingdom basically Breath of the Wild 2? That's basically Breath of the Wild 2, right? Unless I'm mistaken. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge Zelda fan. I've never actually touched any Zelda past... What was my last Zelda game? A Link to the Past. And I'm not talking about A Link to the Past, the remake. I'm talking about A Link to the Past, the original Game Boy version. That's how far back in Zelda I have been, and I haven't been able to touch it since. So, I do know there's a lot of people that's probably going to be streaming this when it comes out. I will probably at least put it on my other list. There's so if you've heard of Deku Deals before, Deku Deals is the price tracker for the Switch games. I'll put it on that one. I'll put it on that one, but no promises that I'm going to be playing that anytime soon. At the very least, I don't want to be overlapping with people who are already playing. That's just my preference, and that's just the weird thing I do. Doesn't help me, honestly, when it comes to games that are being streamed, and there's like a lot of hype around it, and a lot of people want to see more of that kind of gameplay. It doesn't help me regarding that, but eventually, maybe eventually. The first Tohovania game is on Steam now. Oh yes, the first Tohovania game. I have actually played this one before. It came on Steam through certain certain sources and stuff like that. Yes, yes. No, wait. I don't think I played this one. I have played this one. I also have played the second one. It is interesting to say the least. It is. I mean, let's just get it out there. This is a doujin game, and when I say doujin, I don't mean like porn. Okay, doujin does not mean porn. It just means self-published. Think of indie game, but not actually an indie. Well, I guess you can call it an indie game still. It's an indie fan game. A self-published indie fan game. That's what this one is, as well as the sequel. The sequel though is pretty. I played the sequel. I think I beat the sequel. I don't think I played this first one. Which, holy crap, $29.99. Okay. I promise you, this game when it first came out in Japan, maybe not even Comic-Con, maybe in Reitaisai way back when. This probably cost no more than 1,000 yen. 1,000 yen, okay? And now they're like selling it for 3 times the price on Steam. Possibly with Zun's blessing, because Zun is okay with licensing and commercializing Toho now, apparently, which he wasn't okay with for the longest time. And so since that happened, it's like, okay, release all the doujin games on Steam and Switch and everywhere else, This, at least this is one of the better ones. I'm still waiting for the release of Super Toho Wars. I don't know if anyone knows of that game, but there is a Super Robot Wars parody of Toho, and it plays basically like an old school Super Robot Wars game, and I want to play it. But I've played it before. I don't remember beating it, but I played it before in Japanese. There was no translation patch for it. I want to play it. And I don't know if we'll ever see it actually being released on Steam or anywhere else. That would be great. Hi, Ruka. Did I miss the cooking portion? You did not miss the cooking portion. Do you see the timer on top? The timer on top is telling me when we are done with this part of the cooking portion. Basically, what's happening right now is we're boiling water. No, we're not boiling water. We're heating water. We're doing sous vide at 132 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 hours. We have gone about 22 minutes so far. 2 hours, though, we need at minimum to finish cooking this piece of meat that is a bison New York steak, strip steak thing. I think someone asked earlier if it was expensive. Let me double check what the price on that is. Because I don't remember how much I paid for it. But it's like 8 ounces. It's basically half a pound or about 200 grams, a little bit more than 200 grams. And this particular thing was actually super cheap. Super cheap when you think it's a special, when you, excuse me. It's super cheap considering it's a specialty meat. The bison meat that we have right here is like half a pound. And it sells for, I don't know if this is the price per pound or this is the price I actually paid. But I want to say that this is, okay, so this is like about 17 bucks. 17 bucks for the half pound New York strip of bison meat. If it was like a full pound, that'd be like 34 bucks. But since it's only half, it's only 17. So yes. You're crying? Hey, Bison, may I remind you that you're the one who suggested that I get bison meat to begin with, or at least try bison meat. This is your fault. If anything, this is your fault. I was only following your suggestion. The only thing I didn't do was actually I didn't actually follow an actual native recipe. Just because the ingredients are so freaking hard to find. We're just doing steak with this. And I needed to do steak with this before the end of the year. So this is your fault, as far as I'm concerned. All right. That's it. That's on you. That's not my problem. That is you. Frontier Aha. Wait. Is the only the first one's on here? How about the second one? I thought they really released the second one. When was this released? Oh, July this year. I see. Finish the old version of Kamaji Remilia Reimu is MC. Yeah, the first one's Reimu's MC. The second one is Sakuya. I think I finished the second one. And I remember either playing a fan patch of the second one, or maybe it was English already. I think it was a fan patch. If you're into werewolf-themed VN games, looking at Nausea, watched a Japanese streamer play it and it seems fun. Nausea. That sounds familiar. Let me see. Sounds familiar. I don't remember seeing this. Playism. Okay. Playism, that already tells me what to expect from here. It looks very artistic. Is there any special gameplay here, or is it basically just a really good story? Because I'm not sure what to expect other than that. Oh, wait. Social Deduction Roguelite? Roguelite's visual novel? That sounds interesting. I'll go ahead and wishlist it. I'll keep an eye on it. And if we get a good enough deal, then I might think about buying it. Second is better yet. They didn't port it, which is why I'm also confused. Well, here's the thing with the Tohovania, because that's what they called it back then. They called it Tohovania, not Komajo Densetsu, which is the actual title. Um, if I had to guess, they ported the first one because the first and second are a story together, right? The first one is clunky, janky. I don't know if they ever fixed that in the port, but because there is a second one, they probably did the first one story wise, and then if they see a good enough sales, I guess, or if they feel like it, they can always release a second one. It's easy for them to do that if they really want to. But I'll put this one on wish list right now. I'm just gonna have to wait on a sale to see if it's something I want to try. Oh, released this year. That's not what I expected. Huh. Okay. Let's see. What else were we looking at? What else were we looking at? Speaking of Toho games, let me see. I was playing this one earlier this year, and I want to finish it eventually. Like a lot of like I want to finish this eventually because I legitimately think this is a really good game. It's a really cute game. It's a really good game, but also it's very long. It's a lot longer than I expected. I was expecting this short thing where you can just like cook food and what do you call this? Cook food and do a bunch of other stuff in the game. And I didn't realize that the pacing of I think the pacing of the game is like for me the weakest part of it, because you essentially can finish your goals in like half of the amount of time they give you, but they give you like I feel like way too much time to finish your goals and then some. Like as soon as you finish like one goal, you already have enough cash to finish the next goal as soon as they give it to you, and it's like, really? What am I supposed to use all this money on? Upgrades? I don't think I even need that many upgrades. But it's a good game, all things considered. I need to finish it eventually, though. Eventually, we'll get there. We will get there. It's just very, very long, very grindy, but it's good. Let's see, did I miss any other recommendations? Well, we got Zelda. I already put the Zelda on the wish list on the other thing. Let's see, nothing. All right. If no one has any other suggestions, keep coming up with the suggestions. I'll show you what I have on my wish list that's on sale right now, and then if we need more things to talk about, then I'll show you what's not on sale right now. Are you into Chillus Arts game, by the way? I am currently not into Chillus Arts, though I am slowly trying to consider doing Chillus Arts. It's just a lot of I feel like a lot of the Chillus Arts games are better for watching rather than playing. And if that's the case, I'd rather find, I don't know, I feel like I don't know, it just looks janky. It looks janky. I shouldn't look at that. I shouldn't say that about Chillus Arts, but I do have the bathhouse on wishlist. Even though I've seen a couple of streams on this and already kind of know what to expect, it is probably the best Chillus Arts game so far. It's also the newest one. But as you can see, mixed reviews for as much worth as that is, because at the end of the day, really, at the end of the day, a lot of the Chillus Arts games are pretty similar to each other. Like the story flow is the same, the gameplay may not be the same, but the story flow is all the same, at least to me. And you know, that's fine if you're into that. But I'm like, throw me a twist or something. Throw me a twist in the story, please. And maybe I'll consider it. But this is like very, I mean, they're cheap. They're cheap. I get it. I get it. They're made quickly. It's cheap. Also, there's a lot of games here that in the Chillest Art bundle that I haven't seen streamed before, like the Inunaki Tunnel. Like I might, if there's any of the other games that haven't been streamed before by anyone, I might consider those. Stigmatized Property, I think some people have done. I don't think I've seen anyone do Inunaki Tunnel. This is actually a real location, by the way, in Japan. There's an actual real location. I haven't been there, but there's some videos about it on YouTube. Okairi is another one, though I think it was a hit or miss with some people. Ghost Train. The Caregiver. I don't think I've ever seen anyone do The Caregiver. I've seen a lot of The Convenience Store. A few people did Radio Station. Not a whole lot, though. There's quite a few that did Night Delivery. Closing Shift is really popular. I know that much. Missing Children. I think there were a few people that did Missing Children, but not a whole lot. To be honest, Chillest is like watching a work in progress. Yeah, I mean, I get it. People want to support this guy because of all the stuff he's made, and basically all the stories are like Japanese folklore, creepypasta, whatever you want to call it. And it's okay. It's like modern horror stories. But I don't know, I just can't seem to get into them. Presentation is a whole lot of it. And if I had to pick a game that was pretty good on presentation and also pretty good on the horror, let me see, what was that called? Home Sweet Home. At least the first one. I don't know anything about the other ones, but Home Sweet Home, I saw Korone from HoloLive play this first, way back when, before I started streaming. And I think this one was pretty good up to a certain point. And then we just all kind of got used to how this thing went. But overall, I think it was pretty neat. It was pretty neat. Now this one I could get behind playing if I didn't already know how this game worked. But yeah, this was pretty good. And then there's Chilla Arts, which pumps out games like no tomorrow. I get it. He's learning. Chilla is learning as he's doing this. But I don't know if I can keep buying Chilla games just to see him improve in each one. I don't know. That's just not something that's just not something I get right now. But I may try like one of the other ones I don't usually see. Maybe. Let's go and wishlist this one. Inunaki Tunnel. Missing Children, let's do that. Okairi, maybe. The Caregiver. At this point, I may as well just buy the whole bundle, don't I? I'll think about those. And then the other stuff, I think a lot of people already done already, so it's like, maybe I'll wait on that. Let's see. I think Puppet Combo is a Western equivalent of Chillest Art. Let me look at Puppet Combo. Inunaki, I remember they call God. Inunaki Tunnel, not Inunaki God. Yeah, Inunaki Tunnel. Yeah, Inunaki Tunnel apparently. I don't know where Inunaki Tunnel actually is, but it is a fairly famous horror spot in Japan. It's basically, I think, a closed off tunnel, possibly because of a landslide, and they never bothered to clear the landslide out, so it's closed off permanently. And then if you try to go deep into the tunnel enough, you find some really weird stuff. And because of that and how the tunnel is, once you actually get into the tunnel, there's like weird energy around it, and you feel like you might get cursed, and that's really creepy to a lot of people. I get it. Oh my gosh, I don't know if I could play this one. Puppet combo, is this it? I don't know if I can play this one. Oh my gosh, this does look kind of chilla, doesn't it? It's like chilla, but Splatterhouse chilla. Oh jeez. And this was 2022. What? Murder House? The heck? Oh my gosh, it's like a little bit of Resident Evil, a little bit of art house horror, and a little bit of weird. Maybe a lot of weird. A lot of weird. I'm already freaking out on Dread Out, so I don't know if I can play Home Sweet Home for longer than 5 minutes. I heard about Dread Out. Dread Out. I think I have that one in my in my list, in my wish list. Yep, I have both the first one, the second one. I think there's been some mixed reviews from some people, from what I could tell. But from what also I could tell, this is like very heavily inspired by Fatal Frame. Also looks pretty good. Also Indonesian. It's an Indonesian folklore type of game. Like the horror is based on Indonesia. I don't know much about Indonesian ghosts and whatnot, but from what little I've seen of this, it looks pretty good. Very creepy. I like it. I like it quite a bit. So I may get it. Oh, it's on steep discount. I'm probably going to buy it. I'm not going to buy anything on stream today, but I'm probably going to buy it because holy crap, look at the discount. Also, it's a pretty decent horror game. How about the second one? Let's look at the second one really quick. Where's Dread Out 2? Oh, Dread Out 2 is probably not out yet. Oh no, it's out. It's also on discount. Also a little bit more hack and slashy compared to the first one, it looks like. I think the first one is all camera, and then this one is like you actually have a knife and a camera. Don't know how I feel about that. Let's see. Inunaki Tunnel is a crime scene where an old man got burned by some teenagers. Oh, I did not know about that part. And there's also the creepypasta about the village where the Japanese laws don't apply there. Wait, is it kind of like that village that Japanese laws don't apply? Wasn't there an anime about that? I forgot what the name of the anime was, but I feel like there was an anime based on that creepypasta where a lot of people were wanting to start over on their lives, and so they got on this random bus to nowhere and basically are starting their lives over in this abandoned village. Is that basically how it goes? Because it sounds familiar. The game got kind of broken during my stream and I can't advance the story. Which one? Which game are you talking about? Dread Out? I don't know about the anime, but there is a movie about it that came out this year. Can you tell me the title of that movie? I would like to check that one out. Also, Indonesia. I'm just gonna put this out there. I get this in Indonesia and all that. I don't think that has anything to do with my comment, but looking at this screenshot right now, you can see how hard they are trying to make this girl look sexy, I guess, in this horror game. I don't see any buttons, but if there is a button, there's only like maybe 1 or 2 buttons that's barely holding this entire thing, and I don't see anything else under there. I don't see anything else under there. I don't know if the first one was quite like that, but no, the first one wasn't quite like that. Equally busty, but not quite as undressed. The movie's called Howling Village. Definitely not an accurate depiction of wearing school uniforms, I admit that. I mean, neither are Japanese school uniforms in anime, but just saying. Just saying. Okay, Howling Village. 3.9 out of 5. 4.9 out of 10 on IMDb. 3.9 out of 5 in some reviews. 2.5 brainless pen, 50% Rotten Tomatoes. Apparently not a whole lot of people like this, but you know what? It's a horror film. What do you expect? Also a Japanese horror film, which is kind of hit or miss. Kind of hit or miss. I'm not putting on screen. Oh, that's actually super gory. That's actually super creepy. The things in the movie are super creepy actually, now that I see it. Ooh. Let me bookmark that one because I may want to look at this in the future for certain reasons. Yeah. Don't know how we're gonna do that, but okay. Dreadout kind of takes place in Bandung, which by history and geographic is quite haunted. A lot of stuff happened there during and before the colonial times. Bandung, Indonesia, right? Bandung, Indonesia. I don't know the geography of Indonesia. I know Indonesia is like quite spread out. Yeah, quite spread out. A lot bigger than the Philippines, that's for sure. Oh yeah. So you got the big island in Indonesia, which is, I don't know what you call that island. But there's like Kalimantan. I guess you call it Kalimantan Island. And then central Indonesia is like Sulawesi. And then eastern Indonesia is like Papua. No. Indonesia shares a border with Papua New Guinea or something, right? Like they share an island with Papua New Guinea, and then Papua New Guinea has its own part of the island apparently. Timor is its own country. That's like right next to Indonesia. And then there's Medan. Where's Java? Oh, where is Java? Is Java the big island? Huh. I think that movies that usually take a lot of cultural influence tend to be criticized everywhere else. True, honestly, true. Because if you show that to like an outside audience, they're not gonna get the background story of it. Even to a local audience, if they don't know the story behind it, they're not gonna get it. But they still get like the overall vibes, you know? Like with The Ring. I think The Ring was like a series of novels, right? But it's a very Japanese story overall in terms of horror. And then when they not localized it, I guess localized it, when they remade it for an English audience, it became a little bit different. I still have not seen The Ring, so if I remember it, we may do like a Ring watch along or something, or some horror movie next Halloween. I kind of want to try to do that. I think that might be interesting. The VA for the lady in red in Dreadout is a singer called Risa Sarasvati, who has sixth sense and has Dutch children ghosts as her friends since childhood. There's also books and movies about her ghost friends and experiences. I watched the Western version of The Ring and I didn't understand anything. I haven't watched any Ring. I haven't watched any of The Ring. But I think if we watch The Ring, it's gonna have to be the Japanese version because that's clearly the superior version, am I right? Am I right? Or at least the creepier version anyway. But this little trivia about the VA, is that actually real for the VA, or is that something in the game that just happens in the game in Dreadout? Dreadout has a movie, really? It's mid, by the way. Okay, pretty mid movie. I mean, it's not as I feel like it may not be as immersive, you know. And depending on who makes the movie, I don't know how Indonesian movies typically are, but I will tell you, Filipino movies are not that great. They're not that great, as if I remember correctly. Maybe the action and romance stuff are okay, but it hasn't been great in its history. So maybe it's just a C thing. I don't know. I don't know. The VA even has a YouTube channel and does some kind of ghost exploration called journalrisa. Oh, okay. So it's actually, oh, she's actually she actually has a sixth sense. That's interesting. Whether or not you believe in the sixth sense, I do find it interesting because, you know, there are some people who can like sense things that are not there, that may or may not be real, but it's very real to them. Like, you know, just like hair sticking at the back of your neck because there's something feels weird with the air. And let's just say you don't believe in ghosts and whatnot. I still feel like there's some sort of value in that as a sense of danger. Is it a ghost? Is it not a ghost? Is it something else? Who knows? But as a sense of danger, it's not something everyone has. And it could be useful, but it also kind of may prevent you from going forward. But I still feel like overall it might be a useful thing to have if you do have it. FromSoft tried to make a game, Kuwon. It wasn't received well because of the lack of cultural context. Kuwon, let me check that out. I don't think I've heard about this one. PlayStation 2, Kuwon. Looks like there wasn't a whole lot of positive reviews about it. Understandable. It also looks like also looks a little bit like Fatal Frame, but oh, this is like really, really olden times kind of thing. Because you have the lady in red in the traditional Japanese clothes that they would probably wear back in the day, like super back in the day, and the old Japanese yokai. It looks very like cultural. Sure. I don't think I've heard of this game before. That would be something I wish I tried back in the day. Indonesian movies are either mid or garbage romance movies. Our only pride is horror movies and The Raid. Our comedy movie is kind of rising today, but some cultural jokes might not translate well in English. It rarely does. It rarely does. I haven't seen many Filipino movies myself if we're making that comparison, so I can't say exactly. But there were a few Filipino movies I remember that were kind of cheesy at best. Very cheesy. Very, very cheesy. So I get that. Also, Mars, I thought you were Malaysian for some reason. Indonesia? Really? I didn't realize that. I did not realize that. You are kind of neighbors with Malaysia. Speaking of, because I'm looking at a map on another screen. I want to visit Singapore someday. If only for the food scene over there. I hear the hawker center foods are really, really, really good for being really, really cheap. So that's somewhere I want to go to at some point. I know some family members visited Malaysia. They went to Malacca. I wasn't around for that. I think I went to Japan at the time. I'm still kind of in my Japan phase and probably still will be for several years, but eventually though I kind of want to go around the rest of Asia, like Korea, Taiwan, and Malaysia, as well as Indonesia. I just didn't realize how spread out Indonesia was. So it's like, where do you go in Indonesia? At least Malaysia is kind of concentrated near the southern part of the country. Also, I thought Thailand was an island. I didn't realize it was like off a peninsula. Okay. Why did I think Thailand was a island? No idea. No idea. Let's see. I mean, we're like next door neighbors. Our culture and language is not that different. Doesn't Malaysia have a little bit more Chinese in their language? At least I think they have. I don't think Indonesia has that much Chinese in the language. I think, right? It's like Bahasa and a little bit of Dutch. Meanwhile, Philippines is Tagalog mostly, and then the indigenous languages everywhere, and a little bit of Spanish. And then I think Malaysia is also the same, like has some similar words from Indonesia and the Philippines, and as well as Chinese, I think. Question mark. That's my impression anyway. I'm not entirely sure, but that was my impression. And then you get to Singapore, which is Indonesia, Malaysia, and itself all mixed together. So yeah. Okay, yeah. Dread out. I'm probably gonna get the first one at the very least. The second one. Am I gonna get the second one? Probably should. I probably should. And I probably, if I'm gonna get both of them, I probably shouldn't limit myself to horror games in October only. Maybe I'll spread the horror games here and there. But holy crap, the length of the games I play is ridiculous. So I need to figure out how to schedule a little bit better. I just like RPGs and VNs. What can I say? They take so much time, but I like them. Though I do understand that quick games are easy to follow, probably a little better for streaming. So I need to figure out a better balance there. We do have some Chinese words implemented here. Can say this as a Chinese Indonesian myself. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, Philippines is kind of the same way. There's Chinese Filipinos, but they're mostly Filipinos. Honestly, if you even have a drop of Filipino in you, they'll claim you as Filipino. That's how intense the Filipino pride is, especially if you're like famous or something like that. Or like, you know, you do the country proud, because holy crap, there's not a whole lot to be proud within the country itself sometimes. Yeah. So they'll latch on to anything that has even a little bit of Filipino and claim it as Filipino. That's why you see in some of the other streams the Filipino pride come out whenever Philippines is mentioned. For better or worse. I do need to brush up on the language a little bit because I am super rusty. Thinking of making gameplay videos besides streaming so I can browse through my games quickly. True. I did do that one time with what do you call this? Disco Elysium. I did that with Disco Elysium, and holy crap. You think you can actually get through a game quickly and just, you know, edit it really quickly? No. However long your gameplay takes, expect it to take 2 or 3 times longer in editing. That's just something I found out. Like, you can scan through really quickly, but there's like little bits and pieces during the gameplay that I noticed I had to edit a little bit to clean it up a little bit. So yeah, it expected to probably last you a little bit longer. So it's hit or miss whether or not making a gameplay video is quicker than actually streaming it. That's just something I found out. I do still want to make them, but I feel like if I do them, I would need help from someone to do it, but I don't have the cash to fork out for an editor. I am not there yet. I am not there yet as far as affording an editor to do my dirty work, basically. And I will say this, I hate video editing. I have ideas for videos, but I hate video editing. It's so tedious. I know a lot of people. I know there are a lot of people that do like it, but it's so tedious. I don't know how. I don't know how they do it. We only have 2 hands, fair. It's more like it's not so much that. It's also time. There's a lot of time that I don't have that a lot of other people have, but they will also lose eventually if they don't focus everything in on it. Video editing skills has gone under the landslide recently. Mine is okay, I guess. Mine is okay. I think I compensate with it by watching a lot of clips and watching a lot of other videos, and I learn stuff from that, but actually implementing them, that's a different story. To be fair, Disco Elysium was more of a detective roguelite anyway. It was gonna take a lot of time. I don't know if you can call it a roguelike, but yes, it was definitely a detective style game. I think people like to call games like Disco Elysium CRPG. I don't honestly understand what CRPG means, because CRPG is short for computer RPG, and I'm here like, aren't all RPGs at least some sort of computer RPG? So I don't get the difference. My understanding of what a CRPG is that I think it has more branching paths than a normal RPG, but it's not like a TRPG style game, you know, where you have a DM and everything like that. So yeah, I honestly don't know what CRPGs actually are, but it's in that category apparently. Like Shadowrun, I have Shadowrun games I want to play, but I haven't figured out how to do it. Troubleshooter was another game that I want to play, but it also looks very long, and I don't shy away from long games. But I don't know if it's a type of long game I want to spend time on stream. But that's just me. Disco Elysium would have been a good streaming game, but considering the type of game it was, I felt like it would have been better to do it off stream and then make a video of it, which is kind of how I'm leaning towards on stuff like Shadowrun and Troubleshooter if I ever get around to it. I have seen like one Shadowrun stream and understood nothing, so it's like, maybe it's better as a video kind of thing. I might as well recommend Every Atlas Games by Catherine. It's a fun game to play on stream. I have played Catherine before when it was on the PS3, and I think I played it when there was a really, really bad bug on the extra stage of Catherine. So if I wanted to complete the extra stage, I could not, because there was a bug there preventing you from actually completing it. But I have beaten it before, so yeah. I don't know if I want to do that again though. It's fun, but I don't know if I want to do it again. Yeah, roguelite isn't the best term, but you just had a lot of ways to go about objective. Yep, true. Honestly, after playing it through it once and seeing some other people's playthroughs, I felt like that Disco Elysium just gives you a lot of leeway to complete the game, but the actual results and how you get to it just depends on your playstyle, but you eventually have to go through most of the same route. Not all of it, but most of it, which I thought interesting. Also, I thought it was a little bit limiting. I kind of wish they had like more branching paths, but that would also be super ambitious. I get it. I'm also really thirsty. I'm drinking water like crazy, and for some reason I'm super thirsty. I think I need to... Oh yeah, that's probably why. Earlier today, I don't know what I did or what I ate, but you know that feeling of like when you eat something like rough and it scratches the top of your mouth, the roof of your mouth? That's what happened to me. I don't know what I ate, but the roof of my mouth right now is super raw, and it hurts like heck. So I don't know if I'll be able to taste the food that we're going to be making that well once we actually get to it. And that's probably the part of the reason why I'm so thirsty. My body is like taking all the water and trying to fix the roof of my mouth, but it just hurts like crazy. So now I got to figure out a way to not be so thirsty too much. But yeah, keep the suggestions coming if you have any. But let me show you what's on my wish list so far. So we did the chillest art. This is just the sale section, okay? This is just a sale portion of my wish list. So we have some chillest arcs. We have the Getsu Fumaden. Risk of Rain. I have a question about Risk of Rain. If I do Risk of Rain, do I do Risk of Rain 1 first? Or can I skip to 2? Because 2 looks a lot different from the first Risk of Rain. And for some reason, the first Risk of Rain is not on sale for whatever reason. It looks very different. Like this one is 2D. Crazy 2D. Meanwhile, Risk of Rain 2 went 3D. But they're both roguelites. It's like a huge jump. So which one do I do? The first one or the second one? There's no story, don't worry about going in order. But which one would you recommend? I'm thinking 2 looks good. I'm thinking 2 looks good. Probably a refined version of the first one, if anything. How does the gameplay work anyway? Let me see. Looks pretty smooth. I'm not gonna lie, it looks smooth. See new sites, new survivors. Okay, so I guess you have multiple characters. Is this also multiplayer or... Oh, it is multiplayer. 2 is probably more fun. My friends play it often. Tons of mods too. It's like I was seeing the footage and I saw like multiple people. So I thought it was multiplayer and I guess it is. Yeah. Pamali is another Indonesian game recently adapted into a movie. Pamali stands for taboo and I heard it's a walking simulator horror. Let's check that one out. Okay, so I think what I'll do is I'm gonna unwish list the first Risk of Rain because it just doesn't look as refined, and unless someone recommends it heavily, I'm probably not gonna get it. But Risk of Rain 2 looks like an upgrade, and if there's nothing too different about it. Pamali, Indonesian horror. Oh, there's a collection. Probably the collection has all the DLCs and stuff. See, indie, horror, sci-fi, story-rich, gore. Gore in my horror. You love to see it. A Book of Indonesian Ghosts, free DLC. Let's see, let's get a closer look at this. Exploration, okay. Must be a ghost here. Yes. Yes. Druid board. I think it's a Druid board. To you? Okay. I'm seeing some similar scenes here in at least this part of Indonesian, probably old life to Philippine old life, which is still modern life to some people. Looks interesting as far as the screenshots go, but let's see what the trailer actually shows. Let's get some music in here too.
Sekali deh, Kak. Aneh bagaimana? Ya, aneh saja. Perasaan saya tidak enak. Kak, ini semua makin aneh, Kak. Aneh bagaimana maksudnya? Saya juga bingung. Bahkan lampunya pun sudah menyala sendiri. Kak, saya ingin pergi saja di sini.
Okay.
Tapi
Actually, this kind of looks interesting. Just for the atmosphere alone, this looks interesting. Now, I don't know how dynamic the game will actually be, but I like the atmosphere already. wishlisted. I like that one. I like that one. It's cheap enough. I think we can buy this. I think we can buy this one. Must be a ghost hair dude, just never had a maiden bathe in their bathroom, it seems. Ah, man. Yeah, I'm just where's that screenshot? Where's that screenshot of the ghost hair? Now, okay, let's be fair. Let's be fair. This ghost hair, or at least this bundle of hair, may not be it may not always be this bad in a bathroom, especially if you have long-haired girls and ladies in the house. But if you don't clean it up, it will get this bad. You probably know what I'm talking about if you have the the wet floor over here, in Southeast Asia anyway. In Southeast Asia, the bathroom floor is you can actually get wet, and there's a drain there to where the water goes to. In the West, you don't typically see that. The bathroom floor does not have a drain. If you get water on there, you have to like mop it up. But in Southeast Asia, Indonesia, Malaysia, Philippines, all those places, you can get this flooded and it's not a problem. Because of that, you will find hair here. And hair everywhere, especially if you have long hair. And it just clumps up. Hair does not clump up like a large rat like in that one. Well, it depends. It depends. It's gonna take a while before it gets to this point, but it will happen if you don't clean it up. Now, you will see strands of hair here and there, and if you're too lazy, not only will you get the huge clump of hair here, you'll also get the dirt here at the bottom, which are both egregious. Really egregious. But if you're a guy, you don't see this at all, because guy hair does normally not do this, because most of the time it's short. Unless you're one of those guys that have long hair. Very rare, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, I'm just commenting on Mars's comment about never had a maiden bathe in their bathroom, because this is a very common sight. It's a very common sight. You probably know what I'm talking about. At least I've seen it in my cousin's places, so yeah. But that was a good suggestion. I never would have heard about this one. It does look like something I would like to check out. All right, back to the list until we get more ideas. I should probably just hit wish list. Okay, so we have Pamali now, also on discount. Actually, no, we're just gonna add that to cart. Just gonna add that to cart. I want to see how much everything I want to buy costs. Okay, fine. Let's put the Chilla's art. There's Chilla's art stuff in there too. A lot of Indonesian games are cheap because currency. Really? I mean, I think you can do like regional pricing in Steam, right? If you can do regional pricing in Steam, they can definitely charge like a little bit more elsewhere, outside the country. So probably not gonna buy this right away. We're gonna hold off on that. Also hold off on Risk of Rain. We got a lot of other stuff on the list. Shady Part of Me. I haven't heard of this one, but I saw it randomly throughout Steam, and it looks pretty interesting. This is like a platformer puzzle game. Looks like you use a lot of shadows to get through puzzles and stuff. And I feel like that's just maybe not a novel idea, but the presentation also is pretty good. So that's why this is on the list. Yeah, you see that?
In the shadows, where nobody could see me.
Actually, can I scroll that way? Oh no, this is all screenshots. I thought it looked pretty interesting, so I kind of want to do this one. It also reminds me a little bit of Little Nightmares. Except, you know, it's not at all like Little Nightmares.
As long as you follow, we will be okay.
What about Sonic Frontier? Sonic Frontier, probably not anytime soon. The aesthetics are pretty good, yeah.
Do you know where you're going?
The gameplay looks good, the aesthetics look good.
Are you simply
It looks pretty
taking
interesting
me
overall.
wherever?
That's why it's on the wish list. I don't know if I'm gonna get it right away. But let's say I do. Let's say I do.
Step by step
I just want to see how much
rise.
everything costs.
together.
But it looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Let's see. Let's say I were to get that. Weird West, I think was something I saw a while back. Not gonna put that on the cart, but this is basically, well, they call it an isometric RPG, immersive sim. I guess there's more fighting here than what you'll ever see in Disco Elysium, but then again, there's more fighting than anything. But the style looks pretty neat. I don't know if anyone's played this, but it looks pretty neat. One of the best RPGs of the year. I don't care about that, but your aesthetics look good, so I care about that a little bit more. Also, Devolver.
An action RPG.
Hardly can go wrong with them.
Supernatural West.
Yeah, let's see if it actually looks like Diablo, though.
Forge relationships with odd characters. Make friends and enemies.
I guess it kind of looks like Diablo.
And live with the consequences.
It's not quite top down, but it's kind of there.
Create your own path and gain a tactical edge. Move by day or by night. Talk your way out of sticky situations.
More speech than the Diablo at the very least.
Upgrade your skills.
Looks like it can be a werewolf, some orc men,
Enhance your arsenal.
and you know, you got your gunslinger. I don't know, I think it's mostly aesthetics.
Choose your approach.
Mostly aesthetics, some gameplay looks pretty
Master a
interesting.
plethora of sandbox systems.
Not sure if I'm gonna pick it up anytime soon, but it's on the wish list because it does look pretty neat. Definitely need time to be able to pick this one up.
The story is yours to tell. Change the West forever.
Yeah, you basically get this. You basically get the idea from that. Basically get the idea. Let's see. What's else? Darkest Dungeon. Okay, I have been sitting my butt on this one, but I think I might also get that. If you know Darkest Dungeon, you know what this is about. I think I did try it once before, and for some reason I just didn't like the gameplay. But I'm willing to give it a try again, and see on stream how it goes. But I mean, I guess we can expect a long game playthrough when this happens. Also, maybe a lot of dead people. Possibly a lot more dead people. We'll see. Oregon Trail. Now, I have seen Pomu from Niyu-sanji play this recently. I think she's the only one recently that has been playing it. And I could always dig up the original from the internet somewhere and play that on stream. It's like you could do that, but I think like between this and the original, which one should I do? This just has all the updates. It actually feels more like a fairer game than the original ever was. I think both are good. Maybe it won't get us anytime soon, because we can always do the original first and then compare it to this. I think this was a little bit more complex, and as far as gameplay goes. But yeah, the result is always dysentery. Oh my gosh, dysentery. Who was that one guy that you always see on the road? That because you know everyone's playing the same copy of Oregon Trail. Who's that one guy? The one guy whose gravestone is everywhere. Because it's all the same. It's all the same game. How about Death Road to Canada? I actually have Death Road to Canada. I actually have that. Where is it? Where actually is it? I know I have it. Where is Death Road? Oh, I didn't put in a queue. We also have Death Stranding, by the way. That's coming eventually. That's coming eventually. No, do not install yet. But I do have Death Road to Canada. We will be fighting zombies eventually. We will be driving cars. We'll be running over things. It looked fun. I saw a few people play it. It looked fun. So I will be doing this at some point. Death Stranding best movie. Speaking of which, speaking of Death Stranding. No, wait, I'm thinking of something else. Wasn't there... I know Kojima's making an actual movie. But isn't there like a... Oh, what was it I was thinking? I know Kojima's making a movie. It's not a Death Stranding movie, is it? Have you been claiming the free games from Epic? I have claimed a few free games from Epic. Yes, I'm not gonna. Let's see. Well, I could do that. Let me see. Let me fire up Epic. That thing takes like forever and a half to do. I'll hit you with another super amazing wagon adventure. Okay, let's check that out. Wow, Epic takes forever to load. The thing with Epic, I think there's still a stigma with Epic as far as buying games on it. But I will take most of the free games they throw at me. Because, you know, they're free. Why not? Oh! What is this? Oregon Trail, but not Oregon Trail? Oh my gosh, the wagon shoots. Oh, that's awesome, actually. Also looks very hard. Is this actual speed? Holy crap, that's actually fast. What? Okay. Okay. This looks like a fun, quick game. Name party members after your friends. I see. Wishlisted. That gets a wish list from me. Will I buy it right away? Questionable. But it's at least a wish list. Also, hi Ollie. Sorry if I didn't say that already. Oh no, all the bison are dead. And no one's gonna pick up their meat. It's just blood everywhere. What kind of game is this? I don't think there's a story. It's just like a score runner? 100% historically accurate. Kind of, actually. Minus the machine guns on the wagons. What the hell is this game? Super amazing wagon adventure. No story as far as I could tell. It's just a score shooter, I think. It looks hilarious. I do have a similar game to this that I've been meaning to play on stream, but I haven't actually done it. Let's see, what was it called? Bros. Not that one. Super Bro. No. Oh, what was it? What was it? It was like a really super macho game. Really super ridiculously macho game. Super Bros. Cigar. What was it? Ah, geez, what was it? Cigar. Rambo, RoboCop, game. Not that one. FPS or side scroller? It was a side scroller. I have it. I don't have the Switch with me next to me, so I can't check. But it was really hilarious and gory and very pixel. Kill Bill game. Jeez, what was this thing called? Broforce. I think it was called Broforce. Broforce. Oh, it's not. Oh, it's on here. It's on here. That one. Oh my gosh. I played a little bit of this. I could not beat it. But I may want to try to do it on stream at some point, just because. The most memeing game, yes. All the bros. Bug fixes? Oh, was it really that bad? You need a bro to play this? Way better with a bro? True. I need to find. If I have to find a bro to play this with, I need to buy it on Steam. It's just hilarious. There's a lot of videos. We're not gonna go through all the videos. But if you've seen Broforce before, I'm actually surprised not many people play this on stream. I think I've seen a grand total of one person actually try to play this. I'm just surprised no one's played this on stream. It's like this is hilariously fun. It's also hilariously tough, but it's also fun. The true playing with the bros, yes. And bros aren't all guys. There are also girl bros. They also count as bros, as long as they have the bro attitude. I think Kill Bill is a bro. I don't know who Tank Girl Jane is, but she's also a bro. There's a few other girl girls. I don't know how you want to say it. Girl bros. But this is this is great. I do need to find people to play this with. So at some point I do want to do this on stream. Anyway. What else did I miss? Oh yeah, Epic. I hate Epic. But let's look at Epic really quick, I guess. I'm not gonna put it on screen because there's too much stuff to try to deal with, but I do. Okay, so we have Among Us on Epic. I do have BioShock 2. I have also BioShock Infinite. I also have BioShock Remastered. Those were all free. I have Borderlands 3 on Epic for free. So these are all free games. I do have Borderlands 2 on Steam. Need to find a time to actually play that. And then there's also Dead by Daylight, which I don't know if anyone plays Dead by Daylight anymore, but it's on here. I was actually surprised to find out that it's an online game that you have to buy. There's this game called Encased that someone showed me today. Don't know much about it, but here it is anyway. There's also Fall Guys. I don't know anyone that still plays Fall Guys, but apparently it's a thing. There's also Man-Eater, Sable, and the one I really want to play on stream. And good thing this one's also cross-platform. Let me not Broforce, besides Broforce. So I have this one on Epic, and I hear it's cross-platform. So when we get to this, we can do some PvP with this. I still haven't gotten the free GTA 5 in Epic. Wait, still have the free GTA 5. I don't think I saw that one when it was free. Not sure if I want to get it, even if it's free. It's just not my type of game. It just really isn't. But maybe I'll keep an eye out if they ever do that. I have Dead by Daylight, but I haven't gotten a chance to play it. Yeah, Dead by Daylight's like one of those things where you actually need to get like a group of people. Otherwise, if you're just doing with pubs, the skill level is ridiculous sometimes. But I do want to play this one, Them's Fighting Herds, on stream sometime. And if you have it somehow, either through Epic or another, I hear it's cross-platform, so we can fight. But I need to learn this game first. I think this was the game that came out of the My Little Pony fan game that they had to shut down, and like the creators of My Little Pony actually helped the devs here to actually make this, which is great. It's actually a good story as far as how the DMCA happened, and then because of that, they also helped them, the devs, make their own game with the same aesthetics as My Little Pony, by the way, but it is not My Little Pony. It's a completely different thing, but it is My Little Pony, all things considered. This game is weird. I tried it, Guilty Gear, but with My Little Pony. Yeah, I wanna play it. I wanna play it just to give it a shot. I hear though it's legitimately good. I have a friend, or at least an acquaintance, that says this game is actually legitimately good. Is it E3 worthy, or no? Is it Evo worthy? I don't know. I don't know if it's Evo worthy, but it's fun, probably. So we'll do this one eventually. We'll do this one eventually. Yeah. But there's all the BioShocks I think are on Epic, from what I have. Maneater was pretty neat when it came out, but that's like, for me, that's like a back burner game if I don't have anything else I can play. So yeah, BioShock is probably another back burner. I know it's got a cult following to it, but there's a whole other list of stuff I want to do first before we get to BioShock and stuff like that. But yeah, free games on Epic. The only thing that Epic is good for, as far as I'm concerned, just, we haven't been able to do anything from the Epic store until Among Us. At least that's where I get my Among Us. I think Among Us is free now, right? Except you actually have to buy skins and stuff, which is okay. They do need to support the game. I think they brought Multiverse to Evo, so dream big. Really? Really? I wasn't expecting Multiverse in Evo. I see it though. I see it. Superliminal. I was waiting for a sale on this one, so let's just put it in the basket for now. I have seen gameplay of this before, but I don't know, I don't remember everything, so we'll do this eventually. Ship of Fools. Where did I see this? I don't remember where I saw this. But this is, I guess this is like a co-op roguelike. I think this is a game where you have to play with a friend, because you can't do it otherwise. Yeah, you definitely need a friend with this. More friends the better. Up to 4. Maybe if I can find someone to play this with me, but I don't know. It's just like one of those things, it looks interesting, but when are we actually going to do it? Kind of thing. No gameplay. This is just other stuff. Here's actual gameplay. Got a ship, you got guns, and it's a roguelike. Not much to say about it. Not much to say about that. Let's see, let's just quickly go through this. Toem, photography, black and white. I think I saw Crony play this. It looked interesting. Probably not gonna pick it up anytime soon, but it's there in case I do feel like doing it. A lot of Persona games are on sale, it seems. Yeah, Persona 5 Royal is on sale. I don't plan to play this anytime soon though, so I'm probably not going to be picking it up. But it is there. I have played Persona 2, 3, and 4. I played a little bit of 1, didn't finish it. Haven't played 5 yet. So if I pick up 5, it's going to be this one. But it's going to be a while though. Because, you know, another story game, another RPG, it's going to be long. I already have a lot on my plate regarding that. And I'm trying to limit myself to like doing one long series at a time these days. Because if I try to do 2 and I only stream like 3 or 4 days in a week and I reserve like 1 day for talking streams, that leaves me with like 1 other day. Like, let's say I'm doing 4. Let's say I'm doing 4 streams a week, and I reserve one of those for talking streams. There's one stream dedicated to a long series, so that's already 2 days taken up. If I do another long series in that span of 4 days, I feel like it's gonna clog up the schedule a bit, and I would like to do that if I could, but I feel like I lose a lot of people as far as what the heck is going on in this channel and why are we doing only series stuff. So I feel like I need to mix it up a little bit with like some short games in the middle and another random thing also in the middle kind of thing. Have you played the games like PVSV? I don't think I've heard of those. Let's check them out. Let's check those out. PVSV. Oh, Plants vs. Zombies. Oh, Plants vs. Zombies. I don't think I played Plants vs. Zombies before. I've seen it. I'm not a huge fan of tower defense games, to be honest. Okay. Okay, I have seen this being played by a lot of people, especially in C. The question is, why? Tell me why. I don't get it. Honestly, don't get it. PopCap Games, that explains a lot. The aquarium game is my childhood game. Okay. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. It's also 99 cents. That's fair. I guess, sure. Let's put it in the wish list. Let's say we put it in the cart. That's fair. I guess it's worth a shot. Is Plant vs. Zombies on here too? Plant vs. Zombies. We're gonna do the Game of the Year edition. Game of the Year edition, Plant vs. Zombies. I've seen people play this. I think it's like one of those games that has been around for quite a while. No, EA, I am not going to do a subscription. The only reason why I'm kind of hesitant to get this is because it's EA. And EA wants you to go through their portal. I hope I don't have to go through their portal because I hate the Origin portal for that kind of stuff. But it's cheap enough. Probably will pick it up. Another one is called Feeding Frenzy. Don't know if it's on Steam. Let's check if it's on Steam. Let's check it's on Steam. It looks like it is. There is Feeding Frenzy 2 and there's Farm Frenzy. But I don't think Feeding Frenzy 1 is on here. Oh my gosh, this one. I don't think I played a lot of the Flash games when they were out. It's just funny that I see this here now. Feeding Frenzy, really? Okay, fine. Let's put it in the wish list. Just because I put it in the cart, I'm not promising to buy it. I'm just seeing how much everything is totaling up if I do get everything. That's the reason why they're in the cart. But on the wish list, I will at least consider it. And if they're cheap enough, there's a high chance of me actually buying it after the stream. So, I have made an Origin account. I have never touched it. The thing about the Origin account, I had to make one because I played, what was it? I played It Takes Two with Skylar, and I also played A Way Out with a friend of mine. So we had to use Origin to be able to play because it won't let us do it otherwise, which was a pain in the butt, and I hate it. I hate Origin. I don't think anyone here likes Origin. If anyone actually likes Origin, unironically, it's probably because they play Apex. Probably. Feeding Frenzy is good when you feel like playing with no brain cells. Yeah, I think I use most of my brain cells half the time. Except yesterday. My brain cells were gone yesterday. I just noticed. Well, I didn't just notice, but I noticed my brain cells yesterday when I was playing the Hypnospace Outlaw. Went out the window from how crazy the game was. It's like, okay. Yeah, my brain just went out the window with how crazy the game was. I was also really sleepy. Today I got actually some rest right before stream, so I'm a little bit better now. A little bit better now. I only use it for Apex, which is something AAs do. Yeah, right. Beef brain in process. Oh yeah, right. I will blame yesterday's really confused playthrough on the beef brain. But I also like diving into the random pages. That was pretty fun, actually. That was actually pretty fun. Let's see, what else do I have on here? No More Heroes. I've never actually played No More Heroes, and I feel like this is not a big enough discount for me to pick it up, but I do want to play it eventually. Eventually I do want to play it, but I need you to be at least 50%. Give me 50% discount and I may get it. Anno Mutationum? I think I saw this a while back. It looked pretty interesting. I see a lot of indie games have this style of pixel art recently, and I'm not quite sure how I feel about it, because it's not really clean, to be honest. It's very jaggedy kind of pixel art. But I do appreciate them being able to blend this with a 3D background, so maybe it's that way, or maybe it's just a certain art style. I'm not entirely sure. This does look pretty interesting though, so maybe eventually I'll play it. Eventually. I did see some criticisms regarding the gameplay, where you just kind of spam the same moves over and over, and I'm kind of like, don't you do that anyway with hack and slash games? You spam the same moves over and over. So questionable how valid that is, but it is a consideration, because I like playing games that are fun and have a decent gameplay or a decent story. Can be a lot of other things, but there has to be something redeeming about it. That's my thought process anyway.
None of your concern.
It does look pretty neat as far as presentation goes. Never thought they'd move No More Heroes off the Wii. Yeah, I know, right? Because I think the thing with No More Heroes, on the Wii was it was made for the Wii, and it was made for the Wii because they want you to use a Wiimote to like slash, charge up, block, all the things you can do with a Wiimote that you can't normally do with a controller. That's probably why it was first made. And now if you're just playing it on Steam with a controller, it just plays like any normal game. The novelty of actually using a Wiimote is gone, which is a bit of a shame. But not everyone has a Wiimote or can use a Wiimote analog. And honestly, Workshop, everything looks like a Mega Man. Every side scroller with swords and stuff looks like a Mega Man clone style, whatever you want to call it. Digimon Cyber Sleuth, another one I kind of want to get into. It is 75% off, But again, RPG, very long. Don't know when I'm gonna get to it, so it's gonna stay in the wish list until I'm ready for it. I thought I put Evil West up here already. Oh, Weird West, Evil West are two different things. We got two West games. Why was Evil West? Why did I put this on here?
Jesus. Fuck. Just behind you.
It's the same saloon in the same spot.
Fucking beasts.
Why did I put this on here? Third-person shooter, okay. Ah, I see now. I see now why I put this on here.
I'm coming.
Kind of reminds me of that, what do you call this? Asura's Wrath style of gameplay. I've never played it, but it looks similar to it. Looks very fancy. It's very smooth. So that's probably why I put this on here.
Evil never sleeps, but it bleeds.
And we got a flamethrower, sure. Yeah, I think we're just missing these types of games recently, other than God of War. God of War isn't quite this flashy though. It's also still quite expensive. Judgment was here just because I wanted to keep an eye on it. But I think I need to get through the Yakuza 0 first before I think about picking Judgment up. That's gonna be a while. Don't Gain X. This is a Mega Man style game with Racing from Toho. I saw this in Twitter, and originally it was on. I think it was originally free on itch until the developer moved it to Steam, and so it's here now. I don't think I'm gonna pick it up anytime soon. It just looks. It's just here for the novelty, as far as I'm concerned. But the gameplay is, you know, standard Mega Man as far as I can see. So yeah, that one's there because of that. Tales of Iron looked pretty interesting. I don't know if I want to play this though.
The king is dead.
It is not that good looking. Well, I mean, honestly, it's not. But when you play Toho games, it's mostly about the gameplay, right? Mostly about the gameplay more than anything. Tales of Iron, apparently a Souls-like 2D scroller. I don't know how Souls-like it is, but it's rats. Rats fighting frogs and moles and whatever bigger things than they are. It looked pretty interesting. May pick it up at some point. Questionable though if I'm actually going to play it. But it's here for consideration.
Crush them.
What's the actual gameplay though? This is gameplay still, but there's no like UI. But the premise just seemed really interesting. I think this is like a minimal UI game, so you don't really see much of anything here. Haven't I seen Dave the Diver? I actually have. I have seen Dave the Diver on Steam. I think I have it on wishlist. Let me double check. I do have it on wishlist. It is also currently early access, so I'm not in a hurry to get this just yet. But I do have it on wishlist. I will pick it up when it's ready, basically. Yeah, I'll pick this up when I'm ready and when it's ready. I think I make some exceptions for some early access games if I like them a lot. But if I find the spot for this, I do want to pick it up eventually. Reina is addicted to it. Yeah, I see that. I see Reina's stream notifications on my subs. So I do see her play this. Also Olga from Hollow Stars, JP, plays this. So it's like, okay, it might be a thing eventually. So eventually I'm gonna probably try to pick it up myself, because it does look, I want to see what's about, and I haven't really seen what it's about. It is a fully fledged game. The early access is just a lie. What's early access about it then? It has everything: food, cooking, fishing, references, and memes. A lot of memes. Okay. I mean, it's not on sale. That's the only thing that's stopping me right now. That it's not on sale. I'll see what I have on my schedule. I do want to check it out at some point. Solasta, I'm actually gonna take this off the list. I clicked on this because Vesper was playing it, and it's D&D, but I don't know, it doesn't seem like my thing, so I'm just gonna take it off. I'm just gonna take that off. We don't do any Solasta here. Leave it for now, wait for it to go on sale. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Man of Medan, I think someone suggested this to me a while back when I was playing Resident Evil 2. And I think the reason why this was suggested to me was because when you actually play the game, it doesn't actually feel like a game, it actually feels like a movie. Like very cinematic. And like if you look at this screenshot, if you look really hard, you can probably tell it's from a game. But for most people, it looks like it's a screenshot from a movie, just like, you know, Resident Evil has. And Resident Evil, when you actually look at it, when you actually play it, it actually feels more like a movie than an actual game. Here I can kind of tell it's a little bit like a game, because it's a little bit too smooth. But at the same time, it can pass off as a screenshot from a movie. I think that's the reason why this is here. So maybe eventually I'm gonna pick that up. Questionable though. Coffin of Ashes, why did I pick you up? Why is this here? Why is this here? I think I just wanted to find a RPG maker horror game that I haven't seen before, and this was one of them. Medan is a city in Sumatera, Indonesia. Yeah, I think I saw that on the map. Yeah, I think I saw that on the map when I was looking up Indonesia earlier. Oh, this is a 2-minute trailer. I mean, it looks very corpse party to me. Resident Evil 3, I don't think we have to explain why this is here. I did pick up Resident Evil 0, so I'm gonna do Resident Evil 0 first before I pick up Resident Evil 3. And I think we're just gearing up towards Resident Evil 4 when that actually goes on sale. Corpse Party, yeah, Corpse Party is an RPG Maker game that got really, really popular for some reason. And it's been on multiple systems, including the PSP. I think it's also on Steam. Let me see if I can find Corpse Party here. I don't know if it's actually on here. It's probably on the Switch. Oh, yep, it's here. It's here, Corpse Party. This is the original Corpse Party. Very RPG Maker, because that's what it was made in. I'm surprised you haven't played Mortuary Assistant despite the craze a while ago. Yeah, I didn't pick up Mortuary Assistant because I was already doing other stuff for like Spook Month, October. Eventually though, I may pick it up, but it also was not on sale, so I didn't pick it up because of that. But this is the original Corpse Party, and apparently there is a update on this one, Corpse Party 2, and there's a, oh wow, so it's we left RPG Maker and it's its own thing now. I honestly don't know what the whole Corpse Party lore is, to be honest, but it is a whole series on its own that started in RPG Maker. It started in RPG Maker and now it's its own thing. I think there's a remake. on a different system. Yeah. It's not that good in my opinion. It's just a trend. Which one? Corpse Party or Mortuary Assistant? If it's Mortuary Assistant, probably I can see that. I saw a little bit of it, but I don't know. Let's look at let's look at Mortuary Assistant really quick. Mortuary. I do have it on wishlist. Yeah. I think I've seen a little bit, but I didn't watch any because I know I wanted to give it a try myself. This also reminds me of the days, or maybe the day, I went to the bottom of... So there's this one university that I went to, and they have cadavers there. So you could actually check out cadavers, and that's how you learn anatomy. Because apparently they have like a med school program there also. So that's why. That's why. Except this one has some spook stuff in it. Remember Gundam Evolution? It lost its spark after a few weeks. I think the reason why Gundam Evolution lost its spark really quickly was because of how pay to win the bot units are, right? You have to like when you there's some the balance of the game apparently was out of whack, and it's basically pay to win. Basically pay to win. I never took interest in it, but that's what the story I heard from the people that have played it. I know Mortuary long ago, but surprised it suddenly blew up way later than it should. Probably it was still a demo back then. Probably, because there's a demo here and it came out, yeah, August. I don't know. There's probably not too much to this game, to be honest. It's just the cadaver, what do you call this? The cadaver system, actually looking at bodies and figuring out what these people died from and stuff like that is interesting to me. Never actually done it before like this, but it is interesting to me from that perspective. As a horror game, I don't know what to tell you about that because I have never actually seen too much footage and played it myself. So, but it is in the list. I'll think about it. It's a thought and process kind of thing. Okay, what else do we have here? We also have 7 minutes left on the water. Let's see. Let's check that water out really quick. What is going on there? So it's been heating up for the past almost 2 hours, right? And you've noticed the water is moving. That is the heat circulating. Also, maybe something from the sous vide stick that's actually circulating it. But I think the bison may be cooked, or at least being close to cook. So once that's ready, we're gonna sear it, and then we're gonna give it a taste test. Because honestly, there's not much to this. There's not much to this. I could probably cook it. You can always cook it faster normally, but if you do this, it'll be slower, but it'll be probably better at the end of the day. I think that's how the restaurants do it. It's probably how restaurants cook their meat, and that's how they get a lot of steaks out in a relatively short amount of time. Or at least catering does anyway, I think. Cooking Simulator, I am actually really iffy about this. I don't want to play this. I'll be honest, I do not want to play this because it's just memes. It's just memes. And honestly, I will play games for memes, but not this one. It's too janky. It's way too janky. Maybe at 1,000 subs I will. But until then, it's gonna stay in the wish list. Because it's just ridiculous otherwise. Have you played White Day before? It's a Korean horror game. I have not even heard of that one. Cooking Mama better than Cooking Simulator. Agreed. And I've never played Cooking Mama either. because I never had a assistant for that. Which white day? Is it this one? Is it this one? Oh wow. I can see this being creepy, but it also looks a little jump scary. The infamous Korean horror game.
예전에 자살한 음악 선생도 그런 말을 자주 했어. 학교에 뭔가 있다고.
You know, we need more haunted schools. We really do. Wow. I think I just saw some pantsu right there.
너도 뭔가 알고 있지. 그렇지.
I think this is a little bit more in your face than all the other horror games we've seen so far. From the looks of it. Yeah, this looks a little bit more in your face rather than atmospheric. But if the jump scares aren't too egregious, I might think about it. At the very least, we'll put it on wish list.
So why did you come to school at this hour?
Oh, there's an English dub.
So many hidden secrets.
The security guard is the scariest part of the game. You get chased and beaten up by him. Worse than the ghost, really.
Something just now.
I guess the security guards are really tenacious. I'm also surprised the ghosts haven't gotten the security guard. Maybe in this hierarchy of scariness, the security guard is actually on the top of the food chain here. That's probably why they haven't gone after him. Like, they're scared of him too. Oh wow, 2017. I didn't realize it was that old. What's this other thing? Oblivious Garden White Day. Oh, that's an Atomi game. And apparently there's a DLC for swimsuits. What? There's a DLC for swimsuits. Really? In my horror game? Why? That just totally takes the horror out. Why? I can't even look at that one. And why is a security guard this guy from that one anime? Guru Guru, I think. Or this thing. What the heck? Why? Why even? For some reason, we need a little fan service with our horror game. He's just really that good at his job. Probably, huh? Yeah, even the guard gets a costume. Can you believe it? Apparently this is a beachwear set, so apparently this is a this is a beachwear outfit. I mean, it's like a Polynesian outfit, I guess. But the reference is from Mahojin Guru Guru, I think. That one. Yeah. I know there's a Christmas one, but not the swimsuit one. Let's see, Christmas. Apparently there's also a Blaze Blue collaboration. I didn't realize they were big enough to actually get a Blaze Blue skin for this game. I thought you were indie. What the heck are you doing with Blaze Blue? And apparently the guard is Tager, which is way too skinny to be Tager, as far as I'm concerned. What the heck? I don't know who this one is. Daosu? No idea. It's on the wish list. It's on the wish list. Questionable though. Okay. I think yeah, so we have a few more here, and if I let the Sous Vide thing run a little bit longer, it's not gonna hurt it. But we're just gonna quickly look through here. Dread Out, that was already on the list. House, somebody mentioned House. Maybe good as a game, but the pixel art really doesn't sell it to me. Like I know a lot of people like Yuppie Psycho. I've seen I've seen the screenshots of Yuppie Psycho. It kind of looks like this. So it's like, I don't know what to make of it. Honestly. I don't know if it's a good thing or... I don't know if I should let this deter me from trying this. But enough people like it, it seems, so it's up for consideration at the very least. Golf with friends, if I had friends, sure. Nadir looks very interesting, but it's also in early access, so I might wait on this. It's a roguelike deck builder. Very, very grimdark in aesthetics, which is pretty interesting. Noelle, the Mortal Fate, I think... Why did I have this on there? I think it's another RPG Maker VN type of game. Like one of those classic RPG Maker horror stories. That's probably why it's there. Strange Horticulture. I don't know. I saw Reina play a little bit of this, and it's... I don't know what to make of it, to be honest. So that's question mark for now. Saw someone playing this and story's pretty good. Really? House is? I'll probably think about it then. Yeah, I feel like most of the horror game stuff, I'm gonna have to look at that again when summer comes around, just because it's closer to October. But then again, I can't fit all the horror games in October, right? So I kind of have to spread it out also. So there's that also. The deck game actually does look interesting, right? Let's look at the trailer for that one really quick. Yeah, so this one's still in early access. But unlike Slay the Spire, I think this is mostly 1v1. So the fights are probably actually going to be a little bit harder. But then again, at a certain point, all roguelites kind of feel similar. So you either pick some interesting ones, or you just get all of them and try them all out, because there's good and bad with all of them. But this one just looks interesting from the aesthetic standpoint. How well does it play will depend on how well they balance the entire thing. That's always how it goes. Inscription is kind of good. I have played Inscription, actually. I have played Inscription, I have beaten Inscription, and I was working on the KC mod for Inscription. So I played a little bit of the KC mod of Inscription on stream, and played up to so I beat it 9 times, right? You have to beat it 10 times to get the extra one, the last bit of the story. I was gonna do the 10th one on stream, but haven't gotten around to it for some reason. But beating the KC's mod is pretty easy, actually. It was actually pretty easy compared to the main game, as far from what I could tell. Yeah, I didn't do the 10th one, but if I try to do it the 10th time, the KC's mod 10th time, I feel like I would do it in one go. So I kind of want to do it on stream, because honestly it's really easy. It's a lot easier than the main game, to be honest. For any game devs out here, take a look at RPG developer Bakken. I don't know how you want to pronounce this, but my game dev friends and I are looking at this with great intent. It's currently in early access, and I think this could unseat RPG Maker if it does some things right. A friend of mine has written a thorough review of this, and if anyone is interested, I'll put the link up somewhere. But keep an eye on this one. That's a recommendation from me and the dev team. Just saying. Patrick's Parabox. This was interesting because it's like box in a box in a box in a box. It looked pretty trippy, so it's on the list. But I need to wait a little bit. The discount's not quite enough. Shotgun King looked pretty interesting. Chess, but with shotgun. Monster Sanctuary. I don't know why I put this on here. It looked a little grindy, but someone recommended it, so it's on here. Geometry Dash, I don't know, questionable. Should I try Geometry Dash? Some people like it. I don't know if it's something I'll actually pick up. Gordian Quest. I do have a game similar to Gordian Quest, which is like a party card deck roguelike. I'll show it to you in a bit here. But this is like on back burner as far as I'm concerned for now. But I'll show you the other game that looked pretty interesting and difficult. Signalis. I think this game is currently trending. I'm waiting for a little bit more of a discount than this to pick it up, because 10%. Yes, devs need to get paid, but I also want to get in a good deal. But I do want to try this eventually. Cult of the Lamb also eventually. Beacon Pines. I don't know why I have this here. I think I just wanted to like play a game for myself. Same for Black Book. Same for Jack Move. Project Diva, just because I'm a Miku fan, but I don't think it has my songs, so I'm questionable about that. And a few other ones I'm just gonna skim through really quick that we may or may not get to at some point. But there's a lot on this list. We're also gonna do this one eventually. AI Somnium Files. I'll probably buy this. Just because we're going to be doing this after Yakuza 0. But there's a lot of stuff here. If you saw something sussy, you know you didn't. I'm really waiting on this one though. I'm waiting on this one. I played it a while back. But this is a city builder with beavers.
Oh, don't even get me started on the humans. They had it
Where you
all.
actually have to make
Fresh
your
air,
city
clean water.
to survive droughts and stuff.
Now they're just a faint memory, and it's all of their
It's
own.
pretty interesting as far as city builders are concerned.
But we, my friend, are here to stay. For we are beavers, and we put our trust in timber.
It is very
We
smooth.
take what is left of humanity.
But most of the
for
time you're not
our
going to be
own
zoomed in
benefit.
like this, actually. You're going to be further out. So you hardly will see this. And you're mostly going to be playing at like times 10 speed or
Learned our
something.
lesson. We use what is born of the earth.
But this is a pretty neat gameplay because you have to manage like water. You have to like, so there's
respect nature's
droughts
cycles.
and wet seasons. You have to survive the
Leave
droughts.
nothing to chance,
If you don't survive the droughts, everyone dies.
because we know
That's the main
sun
gameplay.
can burn the
Survive the
ground
droughts.
like fire. We work hard every day.
It's a pretty
every night.
neat game. I will say that much.
Well, a beaver's gotta rest sometime, right?
I think there is a demo. No, there's no demo.
make
There
Earth
was a
our
demo
home.
though. I played the demo. The demo was pretty good. But if you're like, if you have
all the beavers.
any engineering itch in you, this should
We are
take
timber-born,
care of it.
and we are going to thrive.
I would show you what's in my collection right now, but I'm gonna. If you saw a little bit at the beginning, then you saw what you saw. But the rest of it is gonna be a secret, and when I play them is a different story. But yeah, there's a bunch of stuff here that I eventually want to do. How much did I put in the cart though, really quick, before we start finishing the thing? 7813, just because of Somnium Files. If I take Somnium Files out, it is much cheaper, which is actually a really good deal. All things considered, of the stuff I want to get right away. There's a lot of stuff I want to get, but the ones I want to get right away here are the ones I feel like I can play soon or really cheap already. So you may see this in the future, but I'm not gonna buy it on stream. So you'll just have to wait and see what we find, what we get ourselves into. But I will promise you this: eventually, you will see Death Road to Canada. This will be a thing. This will definitely be a thing. Okay, let's close that for now, and we're gonna finish off cooking so that we can actually find out how this bison meat is actually going to be. I'm also gonna transfer the camera because that's where we're gonna be now. Okay. Death Road Canada's good. Finish the game. I bet. I bet. I want to play it. I want to play it. Noise gate off. It's bison time. It's time to cook the bison. I probably should have heated the pan ahead of time. Where is... Okay, so I have a pan here to the side. I'm gonna go in and get it heated because that's gonna take a little while. But while that's heating, let's take a look at... Let's take a look at what we got. Yes, you can eat bison. Bison was the food, the main meat source of the Native Americans way back when. So yes, you can eat that. You can also eat water buffalo too, you know. You can eat the water buffalo in Asia. I think I need one more light. Ah, that's why it was so dark. I didn't have all my lights on. Okay, so let's stop this. Let's stop that. We are done with this. The only thing I don't like about this is submerged, so there's like water in this thing over here. So I just kind of have to shake it out. And let it dry. Okay, I'm gonna put that to the side. Which cord are you so I don't unplug the pan? Have you tried to cook the onion beef bowl from Shogukegi? I have not yet. Let me make a note of that. Beef bowl Shogukegi. Beef bowl. Let me make a note of that so I'll check it out later. It sounds really simple though. I tried buffalo before, not as good as beef. Way tougher, not as flavorful. Honestly, bison apparently is the same way. Bison's the same way, so we gotta season the heck out of this, and that's why we did the sous vide today. We did the sous vide to make sure this is cooked thoroughly and as tender as we can get it, because let's be honest, the only reason why it's tender is because there's fat in there. But this has hardly any fat. Chapelin steak, to be correct. What are you currently making? Chapelin steak, to be correct? Yeah, we're making bison steak. I have had this bison meat. Let's get this on the table. So now I have like a giant thing of water here that is warm. So I'm gonna put that to the side and hopefully it doesn't spill. Hopefully that doesn't spill. But I have a pan here to the side. Let me just show you really quick. Pan to the side. That's heating right now to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Only reason why we have such precise temperature is because I'm using the hot plate that we use for the hot pot. Guess I can do that. Because I can do that. Let's get a little closer look here. Closer look. I will send you the clip of the dish if you want. Chapelin steak? Chapelin steak, or which one is it? Chapelin steak or the beef bowl? The beef bowl. Because if it's a beef bowl, I think I've made some before. But I don't know if they did anything specific in Shokugeki. But let's just look at this really quick. I think... Ah, crap. I don't have an extra plate here. I do not have an extra plate here. Let me smell this really quick. Actually, it smells pretty okay. All we did to this thing was add salt and pepper. All we did was add salt and pepper. I know the picture is not the greatest right now. And apparently, my overhead lamp I left on for the past 2 hours, so now it's dead. So we only have the lights we do have. Okay. Chapelin steak, but as a beef bowl from Shogukeki. Chapelin steak, that sounds expensive. That sounds expensive. And considering the stuff I cook on here sometimes, That's saying something. Okay, so I don't have an extra plate to put this in, but as you can see, there's some meat juices here in the bag itself. This is the meat juices from the buffalo itself. Well, not buffalo, bison. I need to put this on something, but I don't want to put it on the thing I'm going to be serving it on. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? I may have to. I may have to do a little bit of something here. Okay. So this, let me get this straight on here. Okay, so I think I might reserve the meat juices from the bison for something later. I may not do it on stream. I may use it for something off stream. Make a sauce out of that or something. But let's take a look. So here's our bison meat. My camera light is not the greatest. Yeah, it's not the greatest. So what you see on camera right now is probably not super accurate to the color, but then again, it's dark in my room, so. I think the little bumps here are the peppers, so ignore that if it looks a little bit weird. But the fat here is still on, hasn't melted any. It's pretty tender. It's pretty tender to touch. It does break decently. It does break pretty decently, so I don't know how soft that is yet. We're not gonna cut this yet though, because we're waiting for the pan to heat up. And then when the pan heats up, we're gonna sear this. So I guess if I want to sear, I need to increase the temperature a lot higher. But we're gonna sear this and then serve it. So, just waiting for that. I'm making sure. You know, I think that's good enough. Okay, so juices, this juices will be for later. That's for me. That is for me. The name sounds fancy, but I don't think you need A5 Wagyu for it. Just a piece of beef will do. Yeah, I think A5 Wagyu will be overkill in most cases, just because of how fatty A5 Wagyu is. And A5 Wagyu I have had before, and it breaks apart super easily, and it's really only good in certain situations as a steak or sukiyaki, or in a hot pot like sukiyaki. Otherwise, it's not good as normal meat because you need the meat to not fall apart too easily when you handle it, and Wagyu will fall apart once it's cooked decently. Kind of. Okay, so I need to sear this, but I think I'm gonna use a little bit of oil also. Because of that, I'm also gonna pat the meat a little bit dry on the outside. Probably wouldn't normally do that, but because I'm gonna be doing a little frying, I am gonna do that just a little bit. Just a tiny bit. And now, I'm glad I brought paper towels in here, because I didn't use gloves for that. Okay. So, just a little light frying to sear. I am gonna use a neutral oil. We're gonna use canola oil for this one. Canola. Because if I don't use canola oil, like if I use sesame or olive oil, there's gonna be too much flavor from the oil going into the meat, and I don't want that. Slap your meat. Hold up. Slap the meat. You mean this kind of slapping? It's pretty firm. It's pretty firm. Okay, let's go ahead and sear this thing. I hope I'm gonna do this right, but it's gonna be a quick sear. Ooh, it's browning quite nicely. Ooh, yes. Let's get some browning there. Oh, you see that fat? You see that fat on the top here getting crispy? Hold up. That's getting crispy right up there. Right up there. I'm going to try to render it a little bit more. But I think the searing is mostly done. Okay, I think that's it. I think that's it. Any more, it's going to be overcooked. Okay. Alright, turn that off. We're done with this. It smells pretty good. It's not very beefy, I guess. But it smells pretty good. You can see we have a little glisten now because of the oil. Cooking meat and rendered fat is the best. I would like to do that if I could. But as you can see here, not a whole lot of fat. I could have probably like chopped off this piece. Chopped off this fat cap a little bit. In hindsight, that's probably what I should have done. Oh well, too late now. Too late now. And because we're dealing with this meat, I am gonna get the good knife out. I'm not sure how many people here have seen the good knife, but here is the good knife. This is a knife I got straight from Japan when I visited last time. So it requires that special. It's gonna need that special treatment. It looks a little bit weathered down, but that's just a story of how this knife was used. It's been a while since I used this, so let's go ahead. Oh, you know what I'm forgetting? You know what? I was gonna say I need to get some chopsticks to like handle this, but we got some tongs. I'm just gonna eat with the tongs. Let's see. Ooh, that is smooth. It feels really tender. Feels pretty tender. And if we look at the meat itself, that looks pretty good. Pretty good. I'm not sure. Let's enhance this a little bit. How's that look? Pretty good, right? I think that's like the most perfect piece of steak I've done in a long time. That looks pretty darn good. I'm gonna cut it up a little bit more because this is kind of a big piece. We're gonna cut it up in cubes. I'm gonna try it without sauces. I'm gonna try it with some things I have on hand here. First time trying bison. It looks very lean. Pretty much no fat. Pretty much no fat. Let's see. I have to turn this a bit. Boom. 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 Okay. Just want to turn you so I can slice you a little bit easier. Okay. Oh, crap. Crap. I should do it in one swoop, but it's a little difficult. It's a little difficult. I'll have some big pieces. We'll have some big pieces here and we'll have some small pieces. And I need to clean up this knife really quick because this is a carbon steel knife, and if I don't, it's gonna rust. So. And I don't want my one good knife rusting. That would be very bad. Alright. Not exactly bison, but I remember someone telling me about how elk from certain mountain ranges isn't that gamey because they literally graze on wild sage that grows in the areas. It's kind of wild. I bet, because they are wild. But does the sage do anything to the elk meat, or is it just because, like, does the sage pre-season them? Is that basically what happens? I want to believe that the sage pre-seasons them, but I don't know if that's actually the case or not. Okay, so I'm gonna have a plate here. I'm gonna put the sauces here. So basically what I'll do is show you the sauce. I'll show you the sauce over here. I'll put them on this plate, and then we'll give it a try on camera right there. But first things first, before we do any sauces, we have to try this without any sauce, right? So first time trying bison. First time trying bison in this poorly lit room. Very well cooked, if I do say so myself. I'm actually quite impressed about this. Hardly any fat. The only fat that we have in this entire thing is, let's see, let me grab that. The only fat we have is this little cap that was on top of on the bison. I should have let this rest a little bit longer, but I'm too impatient and I'm kind of hungry. So, itadakimasu, here's your bite. Ah, and this is mine. Okay, not gonna lie, that is tough, but it's not super tough. It's tender enough that I can chew through it, but it is very meaty. Very meaty. If I didn't cook it the way I did with a sous vide and actually let it go for as long as I did, I think it would have been a lot tougher. It's still a tough piece of meat. Like, look at this. It's still a tough piece of meat. That's not gonna break apart easily. It is pretty good though. It is pretty good. The flavor is good. I think if I season this a little bit more. Photos. Yes. Thank you for reminding me. Let's take some photos first. I should have done the steak and then the thing. Okay, let's take some photos first. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. So we got photo there. Photo there. I'll do a little correction on the computer later. Okay, we got it. Food glamour shots, of course. Thanks for reminding me. I actually forgot it because I was too hungry. I think the salt is enough. I think I salted it pretty decently. But if we wanted some extra little salt, let me bring this down. We can have a little salt over here. A little thing of this Himalayan salt I still have. I don't know what to do with this. Why do I have so much Himalayan salt? To the person that gifted me the Himalayan salt, thank you, but this is a lot. I still have my regular salt. I need to finish that. But yes, let's try it. I want to try the one with a fat cap without anything first before we add any more salt. So this one has a little, oh, don't go there yet. Don't go there. This one has a little fat cap on top. I'm hoping this will be a little bit better, but let's give it a shot. Itadakimasu again. Maybe that was a little bit more tender piece because it was so small. But the fat cap is pretty good. The fat cap also is pretty firm. A lot firmer than I'm used to. If we had like hours, let's say 16 hours to render that fat cap, I think it would have been perfect. But at 16 hours we do not have. Probably should have said it around the first cut, but yeah, I'm sorry, I move super fast. I'm super impatient, as you can tell. But yeah, that was pretty good. With the fat cap, it was pretty good. Without the fat cap, it's okay. Not the best. That's okay. Alright, let's try this with a little bit of salt. It was already pre-salted and pre-peppered, but let's try with a little bit of salt. Actually, I'm gonna add a little bit more pepper. In general, I'm just gonna add more pepper to all of this, because I want a little bit more pepper in all of this. You know what? So that we get some good shots on the camera. Let's. Oh crap! I didn't slice that enough, did I? I'll deal with you later. So we get some good shots on the camera on stream. Let's put you like this. Some of you like this anyway. Yeah, like that. Like this. Show the pink. Show the world what your inside is made out of. And this one was not cut thoroughly, so that was my fault. Okay, I just want to pepper this a little bit more. Okay, that's good enough. That's good enough. Okay, so a little bit of extra salt. Let's see if that makes any difference. I feel like there's a decent amount of salt, but I don't want to put too much salt in there. Let's give it a shot. It's good, but it's a little too salty now. It's a little too salty now. The extra pepper did help. If you're the type of person that likes the taste of salt, go for it. It's pretty good. I think it works the same way as a regular steak in that regard. It's pretty good though, not gonna lie. But I think I tasted more salt than the actual bison, which is a little bit too much. I do want to try this next. I want to try the Maggi calamansi flavor liquid seasoning. It's not even soy sauce, it's liquid seasoning. I still don't know what liquid seasoning is, but we'll pretend it's soy sauce and we'll add a little bit to one of them. We just drop it right on there. Hopefully it's gonna taste a little soy saucy, a little citrusy because of the calamansi. And we'll give this a shot. It doesn't look any different. It looks a little darker, but it doesn't look too different. Alright, that's good. Now that's good. Sure, I tasted mostly the sauce there, but that's good. It goes really well. Salty in general just goes really well with it. Even plain salt. But if you want a little bit of citrus, definitely add a little bit of citrus to it. Lemon, lime, or better yet, just crystallized lime or crystallized lemon. Lemon powder, lime powder. That makes it good. Speaking of salt, let's try the fancy salt. Yuzu? Let's see. Do I have any yuzu? Oh, I think I do have a yuzu. Let me come back really quick. I think I do have a little bit of yuzu. Be right back. All right. So we can try just yuzu by itself because I already know at least what it tastes like with soy sauce. And soy sauce, it just complements the meat quite a bit more. It really brings out the flavor of the meat. I don't think it's going to be too much different from like say chicken or beef, but saltiness really does bring it out. However, let's say we don't add too much salt. Let's just have the salt that's already on here. We don't add more salt. We don't add soy sauce. So we have here yuzu, a little bottle of yuzu that I haven't really used much. I've been trying to figure out how to use this, but it is 100% yuzu according to the label here. Again, this is a gift because I don't usually go out of my way to get this, and I don't know how I'm going to control how much I put on here because this is a pretty big hole. Let's try this piece over here. See if I can just drop a little bit. Okay. You probably didn't see it, I didn't see it, but there is some yuzu covering the top over here. And hopefully it's not too strong, because that was quite a bit of yuzu, to be honest. Can't really see it because it's like yellow and the lighting's a little dark, but it's there. Let's give it a shot. Needs more salt. It's okay, but it needs more salt. Or, here's the other or. We marinate the meat ahead of time in some sort of citrus flavor. Like marinated overnight, 24 hours, 8 to 24 hours. Maybe it'll penetrate a little bit, and it would be better then. But just pouring a little bit of yuzu on it, I don't think did a whole lot. Yeah, it just kind of washed out the meat flavor. The meat flavor is there still, but it's a little washed out. So marinade, definitely better in a marinade or mixed in with soy sauce, for sure. Anyway, so here we have the other fancy salt. I have too much fancy salt. Umami salt black. Remember I used this last time, I think. This is shiitake, black garlic, and sea salt. I have not figured out a good way to use this on anything other than barbecue or steak, because this is too good to try to put in like a soup. Maybe a sandwich would be okay, but also this is kind of clumpy. I don't know because I've had this for so long and just haven't used this, but it's a little clumpy. So I'm just gonna take a little pinch, and we're gonna take one of these small cubes here, and that's already too much. Right there, that's already too much right there. But we're gonna keep going anyway, because this stuff is really strong, super strong. So you don't need a whole lot. I'm kind of curious though how this is gonna go. Just gonna spread the salt a little bit, and you can kind of see a little bit on top there. Let's get a little bit of better look. Kind of can see it on top. I'm expecting salty. Last time I had this. It's all right. I think just the salt by itself down here. I think just the salt itself, but down here, or the soy sauce was better than the fancy salt that we just used. Like, I don't know if it's the fault of this thing per se, or I'm just not using it where it's supposed to be used. But it didn't really add much. The saltiness was there, but barely. There was a little bit of umami, I guess. I tasted a little bit of black garlic, I guess. But it didn't really help much. Yeah, this umami salt has been a bust. I'm just glad I didn't buy this myself. Thank you for the gifts, but I did not buy that myself. It's alright. Not the best. Yeah, it has mushrooms in it. Okay, I have 3 more things I want to try this with before we finish. I've been putting everything on the what do you call it, the cutting board, because it's easier. But maybe we can do this one. I want to save the fat caps. I don't want to put anything on the ones with the fat caps because that's too precious. That's too precious, but we're nearing the fat cap session right now. This one's tough. I'm just gonna tear that. Let's tear. There we go. It's tough, but it's enough to where I can tear it with just tongs. Shows you kind of how tender it is at this point, from all that, from all the sous vide and the cooking. Okay, so we're gonna go with a classic for this one. It's the only spicy one I have right here. I'm gonna go for the sriracha. Sriracha on one of these. I think the sriracha would go really well with one of the fat caps. So we're gonna do one with a fat cap. Like this one over here. This one has a fat cap. So let's squeeze a little bit. Just a little bit, not too much. Would it be weird to render the fat cap and save it as some sort of solidified bison fat thing? I don't think so. I don't think it would be weird. I mean, that's how people got their oil back in the day, right? So I don't think it would be weird. The question is, what are you saving it for? Because when I taste the fat cap on the bison meat, I don't taste anything special. So, yeah, I just don't taste anything special. It's firm. It's a firm fat cap. I think it's better for chewing rather than cooking. It doesn't really have any distinct flavor apart from, like, say, beef fat. Definitely beef fat and pork fat are different, but it doesn't taste that different from beef fat, for me personally. Boring fat, yeah, I mean, kind of. The only saving grace with that fat cap is actually pretty thick. But then again, I guess you can get like thick fat caps on other pieces of meat, so what do I know, to be honest? What do I know? I am just a casual cook. A casual cook. I'm just gonna spread that sriracha a little bit on this one. What we're gonna do now is fat cap, bison, sriracha, right here. I really need to do something about that. I should have done chopsticks. I should have gotten chopsticks while I had the chance. But I think tongs are classier, because considering we are doing bison right now. Alright, itadakimasu. Here's your piece. And mine. The sriracha is overwhelming. Not too overwhelming. but I don't think it brings too much to the party. It's heat. The sriracha is heat. It's a little bit of garlic flavor, but I don't think it really helps the meat at all. So far, the best ones are the soy sauce and just the Himalayan salt, or regular salt if you have that. Because I don't taste any much of a difference from Himalayan salt and regular salt. Does it taste hairy? What do you mean it tastes hairy? What does that even mean? What does that even mean? But anyway, I don't taste anything too different from those salts. With regards to the sriracha, right? With regards to the sriracha, I think this works better on softer meats. But since we have a very firm piece of meat, it doesn't work quite as well. Like sriracha works good on chicken, right? It works good on chicken, it works good on pork, but I don't know, and maybe thin strips of beef, because you use that for pho. But on something this thick, something this thick with hardly any fat, I don't think it works too well. That's my opinion though, that's just my opinion. Bison is just a hairy version of a cow. I mean, they're related. I don't know if you call it a hairy version of a cow though. No, it doesn't taste hairy, but it does taste firm. No gamey flavor, let's just get that out of the way. There's no gamey flavor. I don't even know what gamey flavor is, but it doesn't taste off, at the very least. What it does taste is firm, not too tough, but it is on the tougher side because, as you can see, there's hardly any fat here, other than the cap. It's just tough. It's just tough. It's a tougher piece of meat, leaner piece of meat, no gamey flavor overall. And if you cook it right, it's not going to be too tough. You definitely don't want to go past this. I know there are a lot of people that still don't like medium rare, and I used to be one of them. Still kind of am. Still kind of am, to be honest. But you don't want to go past this for bison. If you go past this, I feel like it's going to be super tough and it's not going to be good. The only reason why you would want to go past this if you're making a stew. That's the only time that you would do that. But if you're grilling, try not to go past this. I feel like it would be too tough. Tough and dry. Yes, it is on the dry side. That's why we use sauces. Now I'm going to do a little heresy. A little heresy even for me. For the people who are on the other side of the world, you may not know this brand, Chick-fil-A. We're going to be using a little Chick-fil-A sauce on the bison meat. Personally, I would like to use either the honey mustard Chick-fil-A sauce or the original Chick-fil-A sauce. But today we have the Polynesian Chick-fil-A sauce. Not my favorite, to be honest. I prefer the original or the honey mustard, but this one ain't bad. I actually don't know what Polynesian Chick-fil-A sauce is. Honestly, I don't. I'm trying to read the ingredients here. Let me clear it up for you guys. Let me clear it up for you. But it's something along the lines of sugar or cornstarch, oil, cider vinegar, tomato paste. Most of the stuff that's in the other things, so I don't really know what makes this Polynesian. It's so good. You like Polynesian sauce? I mean, I know some people do. It's just not my favorite. Personally, it's not my favorite. Don't have it here. How do they taste like? So Chick-fil-A is, so if you don't know what Chick-fil-A is, it's a chicken restaurant. They only serve chicken. They're famous for their chicken sandwiches as well as their chicken nuggets, which are made from whole breast meat, whole breast chicken meat. They don't ground it. They just chop it up, make it into nugget shapes, and they're really, really good. The chicken sandwiches are also really, really good. They don't do fried chicken like KFC does fried chicken. They don't do that. Surprisingly enough, they just do sandwiches and nuggets and waffle fries, but that's it. So I think their chicken is good the way they they deal with their chicken is good. The breading is pretty good. It's mostly on the crispy side. If you had to get a chicken sandwich from anywhere, you would get it from Chick-fil-A and probably KFC, but mostly Chick-fil-A, nowhere else, because that's what they do best, and it's actually pretty decent. Let's see, thick, sweet, sour sauce, maybe on the sweeter side, probably. Let's pour one out really quick so that we can see it. I'm gonna pour it on the cutting board first, because it's pretty thick and I don't want this to get everywhere. Okay, okay, that's too much, that's too much. I hate these little things, because once you like turn them over, they just kind of squirt everywhere. But I think it tastes a little, so let me just taste the sauce really quick so I can describe it to you for people who are unfamiliar with it. Sweet, sour. Sweet and sour sauce is probably the closest thing that this is similar to. A little bit sweet, more tangy. Not very thick. Well, it's kind of thick from, if you can see that. It's more on the tart side. Not a vinegary taste, it's just tart. There is vinegar in it though. But I think the closest thing this is a sweet and sour sauce from Chinese cooking. It's not exactly like sweet and sour sauce. I think sweet and sour sauce is a little bit thicker and a little bit more tart. This is on the lesser side of that, I feel like. That's the best way I can describe it. That's the best way I can describe it. So I'm super curious how this is gonna work out. So let's just smother that a little bit, or a lot, quite a bit. You can see it glistening here. And that's why I like to give you guys some really nice close-up shots if I can. So, itadakimasu. Here's yours first. It's not bad. It's better than I thought. I think what I should have done, I only did one side, right? What I should have done is smother the entire thing in sauce, and it might have been better. Just one side is not enough. But if I do that, what am I actually eating? Am I eating the sauce or am I eating the meat? I don't know. I think you need a little bit of breading so that the sauce actually catches onto something. It's okay. Not the best, but it's okay. It was worth a try, at least. Okay. We have one last one that we're going to try it. And normally you don't dip anything into this one, right? This is just a Korean barbecue marinade. However, I've been using this as more than a marinade. This is so normally people would use this as a marinade for like to prepare meats for Korean barbecue. But I am not doing that today. I also use this for my pizzas whenever I make it. Because I don't have tomato sauce. So this is my alternative. Like, you know, there's barbecue chicken pizza. This is my version of barbecue chicken pizza, except I'm using Korean barbecue sauce. It works. It works. It's super thin though. Yeah, you can't really see it. You can't really see it, so I'm gonna have to. That's why the spoon is here. Hey dog, welcome. Didn't expect to see you this time. I thought you were sleeping for some reason. But this is Korean barbecue sauce. So you can see it's a little bit on the, I guess not really thick, also not really thin. It's a medium consistency as far as I could tell. This one's pretty good though because it does have apple and pear as the sweetener as opposed to just sugar. Let me double check if it has sugar also though. So it has soy sauce, it has sugar, but it also has the pear puree as well as the apple puree. And overall it tastes good. It's better as a marinade, but I sometimes use it as a dip. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of this. Just gonna take a little bit of this And we're gonna put it on the one with a fat cap, because I feel like it might work better there. Just a little bit there, or quite a bit there. Just by itself, it tastes pretty good. Probably not something you would use as a sauce normally because it's not thick enough, but it's pretty good. And if you want to thicken it up, you can definitely do that. Okay, so here it is. Here it is. Bison with fat cap and Korean barbecue sauce marinade. Let's go. Itadakimasu. It's good, but I think it's better as a marinade in this case. There's a reason why it's a meat marinade and not a sauce, not a meat sauce. I will say though, the marinade is good for like fries and stuff and like starchy stuff, but for meats, not as good. Not as good. It's probably better as a thicker sauce. Definitely, probably works better. Use it as a marinade because that's what it's made for. I think overall, my two favorite flavors for what we did is just regular salt on the bison meat, as well as the Maggi seasoning. Those are the two best seasonings that I found tonight that work really well with this. If it works well with this, I feel like it's gonna also work well with regular steak, because that's basically what we made here. Everything else, it was nice to experiment with, but it's like, it was worth a try. At least we kind of have an idea now what it tastes like with other stuff and what works. Definitely more salt, because holy crap, that thing is firm. How do you like bison meat? Very meaty, very much on the tougher side. It's not bad, but if you don't cook it right, I can see how this can be super tough and not in a good way. And yeah, definitely has to be cooked just right. I don't know if it would be better in a barbecue thing. I know for barbecue, like southern style barbecue, you would use cuts with a lot of fat in it, so that it will render, it will get juicy, and it will get super good. I don't know if bison meat is good for that. It probably is, because brisket in Texas barbecue is like one of the toughest parts of meat, toughest cuts of meat on a cow, and they get super tender. Excuse me, I'm burping a lot. That gets super tender when done right in barbecue. This though probably could use the barbecue treatment, but I feel like it needs a little bit more fat than it has for that. Overall though, I like it. I don't know if I get it again, just because it's so tough, and I like tender pieces of meat better. But I feel like if you want a really, really beefy burger taste, this might be the way to go. If you grind it and add a little bit of fat to it somehow, it might be good for that. But I also know a lot of people like their burgers to not fight them back when they bite into it. So I don't know if grinding it makes much of a difference. But I do like it though. It's pretty good. It's pretty good if you do it right. I think I did this justice as far as a steak goes. As far as a native recipe goes, we did not do that, so that's beside the point. Yeah, this is my first time tasting bison too. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But overall, I'm gonna have to say salt, just regular salt, and the Maggi seasoning. In fact, I'll have another one of the Maggi seasoning with a fat cap right there. Ah, crap, it's too much. With a fat cap, and we will finish with this off tonight, because I will be saving the rest of the bison cuts for tomorrow for my lunch. I do work tomorrow, so I need something for lunch, and I haven't cooked anything. So this is my lunch for tomorrow. The bison meat. Itadakimasu again. Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's so much better. That's so much better. I actually planned to eat a little bit of this with some rice, but there's not a whole lot left here, and I do want to save some for tomorrow. So the rice and the bison meat is gonna have to be saved for tomorrow. I only got 4 pieces left. This was only like half a pound. Working on Christmas Eve, that's rough. Well, it's honestly, I don't have anything to do at work tomorrow. Does that make any sense? Any work that I would have had tomorrow, we did not get anything today. So the way it works on my job is that we get everything the previous day and then we work on it the next day. And nothing came in for me to do tomorrow, but I still have to come in just to get some hours in, because my normal schedule is like Tuesday through Saturday. I actually have Sunday off and Monday off. Normally. But Saturday, I know a lot of people say, Saturday, you work Saturday? Isn't that rough? Yeah, if you're not used to working Saturday. But the nice thing about working Saturdays is that you get Monday off. And why is that a good thing? Because you can do stuff on Monday that you don't have to take off in the middle of the day to make up hours for later in the middle. Like if you let's say you go on a doctor's appointment in the middle of the week and you work Monday through Friday, you kind of have to take some time off during the day to do that, right? And you lose some hours that way. But if you do it on a Monday and you don't normally work on a Monday, it's a lot easier to do, and you get to do whatever you want for the rest of the day. You don't have to come back to work either. So that's kind of neat. Bison and rice for work lunch tomorrow. Yes, I will do bison and rice for work lunch tomorrow with a little bit of this sauce, with a little bit of the Maggi sauce, and also fried onions. Or technically this is not onion. I feel like there's like fried shallot, but they call it red onion. But this with the Maggi sauce and rice on top, this has been like my staple for lunch this week. Not bison per se. I cooked some chicken adobo last week, and I had some more this week. So I had some chicken adobo over rice, because that's how you're supposed to do it, and added a little bit of the Maggi sauce and fried red onions to that, and it's been pretty good. So I'm gonna be doing that because I still have some rice left over, and it makes for a good lunch. A nice easy lunch. Otherwise, my other option if for lunch would be, if I still had the chicken adobo, is to mix it with instant ramen. That's how I normally do it if I ran out of rice. Rice is the first thing I go for if I have some cooked already. But if I don't have rice, we do the instant ramen. Mix the leftovers with instant ramen. So good. I don't think this would work too well with instant ramen. If I do though, if I do this for instant ramen, what I would do is slice this much thinner. These are chunks of meat that are not meant for ramen. So yeah. Is this the guy who sold you the bison? Probably. Bison is the one who sold me the bison. Basically, he sold one of his cousins out, and now I'm eating a piece of one of his cousins. How messed up is that? This was his idea, by the way. He's been egging me for months to try it. And now that I've tried it, he cried rivers of tears earlier, but it was his idea. And now I ate it. Yeah. It is kind of dark. His cousin's pretty good? Yeah, his cousin's pretty good. His cousin's pretty good. Not gonna lie. It was a good meal. It's a good meal. Fun fact, there is Native American rice called wild rice, but it's actually grass seed. I mean, honestly, rice is grass. Rice is grass. That's all rice is. It doesn't matter where in the world it is. It's all grass, seeds, and we eat that. Think about that. Yeah. Anyway, so I think this has been a nice stream to end the year on for us. I want to go a little bit longer, but it is getting late for me. I still have work tomorrow, so I need to clean up. I have a lot of stuff to clean up here. I'll post pictures up later after the stream and after I clean up, so please keep an eye on that. I think I'll post it in both Twitter and the community tab, so look an eye out for that. Next week, just a reminder, I will not be streaming. I will be out and about with family and such, and I will have a couple of videos out next week, but you know, it's a couple of videos, so you don't miss me too much. But yeah, next week I'm gonna be out, and I'm going to be back after the new year. Can't promise you when exactly, but I want to come back as early as the 2nd on the new year, but we will see. You want to raid someone on YouTube? I cannot raid anyone on YouTube. As far as I know, I can't raid anyone on YouTube because I don't have the numbers for that. Let me double check. Is there someone I can raid? I don't think I can raid yet. I don't think I have the ability to raid. I feel like I need 1,000 subs for that. I think only the monetized people right now are able to raid. And even if I could raid someone, I don't know who I would be able to raid. Sorry for the noise with the mic. I was moving stuff around. Let's double check. Create highlight, add stream marker, share. I don't have any raid options here. Yeah, it's only for monetized people. Otherwise, I would see who is on my list and then go from there. Because there's some people I want to pay back as far as raids are concerned. But can't do that today. So he fell off a cliff and well, the meat had to be used. Well, I mean, that's better use than, you know, what happened in on the railroad lines back in the day, you know. Yeah, and that's the thing about the monetization. No, not the rating on YouTube. On Twitch, you can raid just anyone, but yeah, you can raid just anyone on Twitch. But I think the reason why YouTube did it the way they did is 2 reasons. One, they don't want like the hate raids from Twitch happening also on YouTube, which hasn't happened as far as I know. I haven't heard anything about that. And they're still more or less testing the raid system. I think last time I checked, there were still a lot of bugs in it. So it's a long process. I do hear that YouTube is rolling out quite a few things regarding smaller creators next year. So I'm kind of looking forward to how that's going to work out. Because we're definitely small channel. Less than 1,000. Even 1,000 is still a small channel, to be honest, in the grand scheme of things. But regardless, I do appreciate everyone that has been in this channel, as well as what do you call it, and has stuck out throughout the whole thing. Thank you very much for that. I want to like make a proper thank you video at some point, but I don't know if I'll have the time. So I'll just say right now, thank you all for everyone that have subscribed to the channel and have stuck around for the various reasons that you have. Because I am, I'll be honest, the way I do that, the way I handle the channel is not the best. I'm not very focused. I'm trying to be a bit more focused recently, especially since the move. Like, we're trying to do more cooking streams. We're trying to do more talk streams. I feel like overall that's just better. We can't do game streams all the time. Games are nice. Games are fun, but we can't do game streams all the time. I think we do have to talk once in a while, and there's one of our opportunities to do that. We did do a little bit of the community thing, right? The Among Us community thing a couple of weeks back. If you missed it, don't worry about it. We're going to try to do something in the future, maybe like a watch stream, or maybe more Among Us if that's what you want to do, or just something random like the them's fighting herd stuff. Because I want to give this a try. I also want to bring Mahjong back. I know a lot of people don't know how to play Mahjong, but it doesn't matter. You just play for fun. but we'll see. We'll see how that works. It really depends on the schedule. I have so much stuff I want to do and not enough time to do it. Yeah. Cooking streams are definitely cool. Yeah, I try to cook. I've been trying to cook at least once or twice in a month, but tell me if this makes sense though. Should I move the cooking streams to around this time, or let's say on the weekends? Or should I keep it to Sunday mornings? Because I've been trying to do more Sunday morning streams to catch the Asian time, and then morning chill streams basically for anyone who might be up at that time. But I don't know if that's the best thing. I did put up a poll out for the for the people from Asia to see what time works best for them. It's a little bit difficult to schedule that just on my end. I don't mind waking up early. It's just what time is best to actually do it. It's a tough thing. Do I do it now around this time, or do I do it in the morning? Do I do it in the morning when people are waking up, when they're probably not awake? I feel like there's no good time. Honestly, there's no good time. But what's the best time? And that's what I'm trying to figure out. I do want to make a morning stream so that we can get more, like, people from Asia have a better viewing time. The ones that do come here anyway. So yeah, I'll try to do like maybe what I'll probably try to do is, if I do 2 cooking streams in a month, because that's really all I can do at most, is maybe do one on the weekend morning and another one on the weekend night, just like this. I will, spoilers right away, right now, our next cooking stream will be around this time, because it's more of a dinner type of food that I'm thinking of doing for the next one. And if I try to eat that in the morning, I am gonna be basically in a food coma the entire day. That's just how it is. I'd rather be in a food coma at night, where it's gonna help me sleep a lot. So it is around their morning, so semi-breakfast stream. Any Ruka stream is a good stream. Thanks for saying that. Thanks for saying that. I honestly, when I first started the whole streaming thing, I wasn't sure. I only had one thing in mind, but I had to quickly abandon that because I know it's very niche and not exactly the best way moving forward. So I do want to try quite a bit more stuff this time around. So yeah, I will try my best though to do more cooking streams, more food review, and more Japanese travel talk, because that's really my main interest. Travel talk, especially with the trip coming next year. So yeah, there's gonna be a trip coming next year. I don't know if I'll be able to stream that, or at least any part of it, because I will have people with me and I don't want them to know I'm a streamer. But I will bring some stories and footage back, or in pictures when that comes. But yeah, more cooking stream, maybe some good cooking, maybe some cursed cooking. There are some cursed recipes I want to try, so just be prepared for that when it does happen. Just warning ahead of time. And yeah, and let's see. Right, the Tokyo treat food review, snack review stream for this month, not happening because they just only recently sent the box out and I still haven't gotten it yet. So next month is probably gonna be 2 snack box review streams on the weekend, because that's when I'm gonna be able to do them. So yeah, scheduling is a pain. Anyway, I think I need to actually call it a night for today, because lots of cleaning up. Again, thank you all for coming. Thank you all for watching. Really appreciate for anyone who is here and has been here and will be here. For anyone who hasn't subscribed yet, please consider subscribing if you'd like to see more of this stuff. And see you next time. See you next year, everyone. Have a nice rest of your day. Have a nice rest of your year. Have a good time with your friends and family. And see you later. Goodbye. Ending.